JPM Box. Take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, 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 ding, 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 ding.
Come through in the minds of rhyme. Doing it big like I live in the Taj Mahal. Talk and I don't get in the blase and glide.
Take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and JPM Box. JPM Box. Take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, 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 ding, 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 ding.
Come through in the minds of rhyme. Doing it big like I live in the Taj Mahal. Talk and I don't get in the blase and glide.
Take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and take a tambourine, go and get yourself a whistle and JPM Box.
Let's do a mic check. Let me get my juice in me. I'm gonna need it. I always need, let me get this light. I always need my juice to get me going and cranking because I don't have nothing today. Hold on. Let's do a mic check. Are we here? Let me know if we're here. There go my sister. What's good? Shaba, Alethea, what's good? Says Mike sound nice. That's from the Facebook family. What's good today, y'all? Today is Thursday. It's Friday Eve. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. Sorry, guys. I am not trying to be corny. I'm just not in the mood today. I'm just not in the mood. Let me do something. Let me see if I can get in the mood.
I was raised in this society, so there's no way you can expect me to be a perfect person. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
For a record like this to be published, it has no place in our society. Well, watch the withdraw of this record. Withdraw of this record.
That's all I do. That's all I like. I'm not a robot.
Let the American people see Dan Quayle as they really am. Let the American people see Dan Quayle as they really am. Let the
I was raised in this society, so there's no way you can expect me to be a perfect person. whatever I
no
like.
reason
I'm
for a
not
record
role
like
model,
this to be
nothing.
published.
Mic check. Let's try it all over again. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just not feeling it. Not feeling it today. Let's see. Where can I start? What can I do? I see some beautiful people here. I do not want to disappoint. I promise you. How about we do this? I need my juices going. I promise you, I've never done this before. Why don't we have, thank you, Michelle Hardy. She said, Mike sounds good over here. That's on Facebook. Are we good on X? Are we good on TikTok? Are we good on YouTube? Let me know. I tell you what I want everybody to do for the few that are here. I know we're just getting started. Some people don't get here till about 1:30, but I'm here. We're here, and we're going to do what we do. Maybe the early birds can take advantage of what we're about to do here. Sorry, my mic is messing everything up. Michelle Hardy, quick question. How's that mug? How's that Wyatt Live coffee mug? Michelle Hardy, y'all going to see some things behind the scene. This is a Wyatt Live coffee mug that we actually sell. We have them here. I have them here in my studio, and I use mine. I have several, but I use this particular one, has both logos, my signature logo, and then of course the logo here. Thank you, Linda, excuse me. Thank you, LG, over at YouTube. I use this one. This is a behind the scene. It has my ink pens and my extra pair of shade glasses and all my good stuff that I use here in the studio. You know, I don't know. I got a little mini studio here that's on some professional level stuff that I probably should be doing a little bit more with, but I haven't really committed myself. I've committed myself, but I haven't committed my time. I haven't given this thing that I call so building, haven't really given it a lot other than myself. Haven't concentrated on a lot of it. Entrepreneurs will know what I'm talking about when I say this. My brothers and my sisters, y'all know, the ones that are real and about it. It is very difficult to start something and expect people to treat it like you would treat it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever loaned your car to somebody? I don't do that. I don't do it. Maybe my children, okay? But I don't have a friend that can call me and say, hey, Wyatt, my car went down. Can I borrow your car this week? I graduated from them type. I'm sorry. I know I probably got some friends on here that thought they could call me and say some shit like that, but I'm not him. I don't probably will never get a phone call like that because people know that that's not me. You feel me? It's not, I'm not going that. No, I don't have that. So, I mean, maybe you do, and that's great. It might be a cousin or something. I got maybe one cousin I can do that with in life, and she would never. And you heard me say it right. She would never ask me to borrow my car. She's so independent, and she'll do her own thing that she would go to the rental car place and rent a car for however long she gonna need it. She would never, like, she might need me to take her to you know what I'm saying? Like, if she could call me and say, hey, Rand, I'm renting a car. You know what I'm saying? Can you take me over to Enterprise or something like that? Or take me out to the airport so I can pick it up. No problem whatsoever, cuz. What time you need me there? But I ain't gonna lend my car out. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't get her or whoever it is, if I can't get that person to the airport, I got an Uber account. They're going to get to the airport if it's someone that I love. Like, you can't borrow my whip to do anything. And you know why? It's not because I'm like stubborn, bougie, and all that old shit. I'm really the type of person that I'm not going to fall out with you about some BS, some bull crap, right? Because we will fall out over the smallest thing when it comes to my car. Like, you might not treat it like I treat it. I mean, that's just realistic. It's realistic that most people don't treat people's property the same way that people, treat their own. Like, if it's yours, you treat it better because you worked for it. People that don't work for stuff don't treat it right. And that's not in all situations, but in most. Brenda Early, what's good with you? Sabrina, what's happening? Michelle, I asked you a question, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore it. It just went by so fast. I asked her how her mug was that she purchased from us, and I want to thank you once again. It's been a while, so I don't think that I never forget. But she said it's great. Use it several times a week. See, we got quality over here. Our mugs are quality, dishwashable, nice and classy and stylish, and then you can use them for your coffee, your tea, or even do what I do here in the office, in my studio, I should say, but it's in the section of my office of the studio. Yeah, I use it to hold pens and extra glasses and paper clips, things of that nature that I may need. I enjoy it. Ali, what's good? Ollie, what's good? Why is it so quiet? Maybe I'm just not in the mood today. I don't know what it is. Linda Evans says one thing for sure. They won't treat your stuff like you treat it. God bless the child that's got his own. I thought it was me, Linda. I thought it was me. I just don't. Look, I'm going to be honest with you and tell you something. I know I like to reminisce, and then I'm going to go over something of why I reminisce a lot and why I talk about the things I talk about sometimes. Maybe that'll help me get into the rhythm. I know what you mean when you say that. Let me get these lights right. My apologies. I'm running into some difficulties. Let me tell you the type of child I was. Y'all remember when we were growing up and you come outside and you had a bag of chips or you had a pickle or you had some Now and Laters? Let's take the Now and Laters out of it because Now and Laters were individually wrapped. You could share Now and Laters by giving everybody one and you steal everything cool. Nobody touch your Now and Later, right? But a bag of chips or some hot fries or a pop, and you come outside and people be like, "Oh, let me get some." I grew up like that. I mean, we had partners like, let me get some, let me have some. It was always a no for me. It wasn't really no. It was, I'll save you some. I was the I save you some guy. That makes sense? Because now, bro, you can't put your hands in my bag of chips and get you some. I'm not going to do that. We're not doing that. No, you can't drink out of my Pepsi bottle and then hand it back to me and I'm going to drink the rest. No. You're not putting your mouth on my bottle. And no, I ain't pouring it in your mouth. I ain't doing all of that. I'll save you some. You ain't backwashing in my drink and all that old stuff. So am I the only kid that was that guy, or was y'all sharing everything, putting greasy hands and nasty hands in your hot fry bag and shit like that? I just didn't do that. I didn't ask anybody for none of their shit. You know what I'm saying? I never asked, "Ooh, let me get some. Let me get a piece of your pie." I never know. I was not that kid. If you came outside of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I did not want a piece of your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, bro. No, it's all yours. You can have it. You can have it. It just make me want to go make one or have one myself or whatever. I don't care. But I just couldn't. There were certain friends. Princess Flyer, you better not trip out when I say this because I'm going to call some names. I'm gonna call a few names. But the good thing is they're not the government names. These are street names. These are the neighborhood names. I couldn't come outside, especially in the Faye. Now, downtown, you could not come outside with shit. You had to eat that in the hallway. Everybody was on your shit. But as I got a little older, Got out to the Faye. Shit, nothing really changed. I couldn't bring certain things outside. You can't bring nothing sweet. Ho-hos and bun-buns and sugar rolls and all the little nice, sweet, good shit. You couldn't bring that outside without everybody wanting a piece of the honey bun. By the time you get wherever you're going outside, more than half of it is gone and you got 2-3 bites. So you got to shove it down your throat before you get to your buddies or your friends, wherever you're going, because they're going to want a piece. But I had this one friend specifically, Princess Flower, I know this name. I couldn't bring shit outside without Fat Chili. Without Chili wanting some of whatever. I could come outside with the nastiest shit and he gonna want some. I used to wonder, do you eat at home? Damn, Chili. You eat everything I eat. I can't come outside with freaking crackers and peanut butter without you wanting some of my crackers and peanut butter. Damn. And y'all got to understand where I lived. Princess Flower lived right across from me. Like she lived directly across. So I lived in a pinched out corner, 2552 Williamsburg, in the corner. So I'm diagonal from everybody. I'm in the corner, so I can't creep out. I either got to stay in the house, which you don't really. We come from the era where we didn't really stay in the house. We did everything outside. Everything outside. Actually, to be honest with you, when you come outside with some food, it was a lightweight flex. I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't know why it was that way. But everything in our neighborhoods was a flex, from the type of toys you had, your bike, what kind of clothes you can wear outside. It was a flex because ain't nobody have shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that's probably what the problem is to this day. We've been trying to, we're constantly in this thing of showing everybody we got it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe that's some shit that y'all can get me on again today about how everybody ain't like that. Well, I know everybody ain't like that. I'm just talking about me. All right, what we was going through. It was a big competition in the hood. Who can come outside with the whitest tennis shoes on, who can drive, who can have, and I ain't mean drive, but who can ride the biggest bike, who can go get the best rims with the Mongoose bike and the rims and the 5 stars and all that shit. I'm not talking about cars, I'm talking about bicycles. Shit, we've been battling since big wheels. Bet you ain't know I could put this mirror on my big wheel, motherfucker. We've been battling since there go Donnie. Donnie know. All the way from the sandbox. Everything was a flex, man. Everything. My bicycle bigger, my big wheel better than yours. Then you had cats like Donnie who had shit in his life. He had the Mean Grow jean. You know, did y'all remember the Mean? We had big wheels, and he come out with this big ass green machine. I don't know if y'all remember those, but they was the shit that they used to advertise on TV. You always thought somebody from the hood was rich when they came outside with the shit you seen advertised on TV. G.I. Joes and all that old shit. Whenever you see something on TV and a kid come outside with it, we thought they were rich. That's why Kathy Rogers came on here one day and said, we all thought you was rich, Rand. Nah, I know you didn't. Now, you thought that because you seen me with a few things that you seen on TV. I didn't act rich. We surely didn't do that. I got just as many ass whoopings as you did for doing the same shit you do. My mama was out there looking just as crazy as your mama. Don't do that. But yeah, he'd be down there riding the green machine, and it was bigger than everybody's big wheel. So it tearing everybody else's shit up. We barely got a big wheel. Here come that big ass green machine. And it wasn't even a regular steering wheel. It had gears. You do the shit like this and it's tearing up every damn thing. That's how distraught I am, because this happened when we were children. I'm still feeling bad about that. Oh man, I'll get in the rhythm here in a second, I promise you. I just don't feel it today. Somebody told me to go to my normal go-to. I just don't feel it today. I don't. Is there anything I can do? Let me just see. Hold on one second. I tell you what I can do. Wait a minute. Let me see this comment. Edward said, I had a G.I. Joe, Wyatt. Had G.I. Joe with the string in the back. Some shit on TV. Pull the string and he'll say some stuff. I remember those things. And it would move the arms or something. I think it's that one. They had several. They had a couple of different ones. Sorry about that. I know, bro. It was, man. He said best times, my brother. They was such innocent. Linda Evans says, Wyatt, are you and excuse me. The screen moved, Linda. Pardon me. She said, Wyatt, are you an only child? You sound like you were a little spoiled. Now, where did you get spoiled out of what I just said? Linda Evans. But you got me there. I was the only child, and I probably was a little spoiled. But how did you get spoiled out of? Oh, because I never say I had to share my sandwich with my brother on my way out, and that left even less sandwich for me to be passing out and helping. I mean, honey buns. I don't know. How did you get spoiled out of that? I didn't have the green big wheel. Donnie did. Them the spoiled ones. And nah, he wasn't spoiled. He just had the good shit. He had brothers and sisters. He had sisters and shit. But where'd you get I'm spoiled? Boy. Jack says, could kick roll. So hold on one second, Jack. Hold on, bro. Says, could kick roll on that green machine, though. Just hook slide. You remember that? Sometimes I say things, Jack. I don't think people gonna know what I'm talking. I'm stuck in an era of certain things, bro. Like I'm there and I remember it vividly. I can see it. I can actually feel the bumps from that stuff back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people go back like I go back. I just don't hear those conversations, bro. I don't know what it is about me, bro. I mean, I guess I'm stuck in those eras of innocence and when it was fun and the things we did to try to make it and have good times. I'm just stuck in those eras, man. I had a great childhood. I had some of the things I seen wasn't all that good, but you get past that. Big ass thumbs killing me today. What's that? What does that mean? Oh, okay. In typing, I got you. LaDonna said, I love my big wheel though. I did too. It was a little raggedy. It was a little raggedy. It was pretty bad. It was the one that, how you go around the corners and you can do the hook slide. I think somebody just said something about hook slide, but you could do the hook slides and the objective is to turn and do a slide and spin out. But you was dope if you can slide and spin out and go out a couple times. Yeah, you was a mean boy if you could do something like that. Sorry, young ladies. I'm sorry for all the ladies. Y'all didn't really do this type of stuff. We could talk about the female games in a little bit. Foursquare, tetherball. Anybody? Mama Bert's the only one gonna know this one. How many people, by the show of hands, played tetherball with a milk carton? I shouldn't say milk carton, but yeah, I guess it is a milk carton. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The carton, it was the gallon milk, and you have to squeeze it and put rocks in it to give it some weight. Put it on the string, put it on the rope, put it on the string up there, and rope it around. And then, y'all know what tetherball. We all know what tetherball is. You feel me? And it would go, and we would play with a milk carton. Oh, man, these were the days. Those were the days. The days. Y'all remember playing hopscotch? Emmanuel Livingston, what's up, bro? He said, I was a beast at tetherball. Tether ball, is that what it's called? We called it, I don't know what we called it. What is it really called? It's tetherball, isn't it? Or is it tether ball? When you got Emmanuel Livingston on the show, him and I can be real brutal. on each other. Well, I don't know. I give E a lot of passes. I don't really talk about what he says. I don't really do that. But he's brutal on me. E-Man said hopscotch was for girls. No, not really. They start the game, but for us, bro, we went to wherever the girls were. If Sweet Pea and Shima and them was out there playing hopscotch, bro, we found a way to get in it some kind of way. He says, bro, I'm right. It's tether ball. Bro, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was always tether ball. Tether. I don't know. Because who would know that? I mean, who can? I've never seen it on paper. Number one, I don't know. How could you expect a guy? Let's just be for real. Let's be honest. How could you expect a guy who played with a milk carton and a string and rocks inside the milk carton, and you hang the string up, and now we have a game to actually know what the real spelling or pronunciation of the game really is? Like Donna said, we said tetherball. That's what we used to say when we was kids. I've never heard it any other way. Tether ball, is that what it is? Well, I guess y'all suburb kids had all the right shit. Y'all probably had a ball too, didn't y'all? Y'all probably had the real official orange, what was it? Yellow ball that went on the edge, and y'all probably had the real rope, and y'all had the real pole in the ground, all that shit. We didn't have that. We had to create it. So I guess it's kind of appropriate to have our own way of saying it as well. No, not even the schools had it our way, E. Jack over here playing some other shit. He said, spin the bottle. Now, I guess I can get into those games. We never played spin the bottle down the way. What's that? Princess Flower said, I've been calling it tetherball. That's what, I guess it all depends on where you are, what your geographic is of your neighborhood. It's almost like if you live in the South, not necessarily in the city, but in the southern parts of United States, they name shit different than what we name it in the Midwest. Like here in Florida, you could never get away with calling something a pop. They don't say pop and stuff like that. They say soda. And in the deeper parts of the South, it gets even worse. If you say pop, shit is like they really think you're ignorant, as if pop isn't in soda pop, like it's not affiliated. You look like a damn fool to them. But yet, when you want a pop or a soda, they say, I want a cold drink. Not specific. You don't even have to be specific. You can have a Mountain Dew, a Coca-Cola, a Pepsi, a Barks root beer. You can have all these different sodas sitting there. And the way I would say it is, let me get a Coke. Let me get a cold. Let me get a pop. Let me get the Coke. They think I'm crazy. Now they know what I said because I was specific. I said Coke. But when I said give me a pop, you can't talk like that to them, bro. They think you ignorant. They think you stupid as hell, especially in New Orleans. I had a language barrier in New Orleans like no other. Like no other. New Orleans language is way off the charts. It's different. And it wouldn't be that bad if they would just say, hey, we say different stuff. But no, they want you to be a fool. They kind of want to make fun of you because you don't speak their language. Or it's just weird. Like, bro, y'all know y'all sound crazy with what y'all say. It's not necessarily the Midwest. Like we say it one way, but it's not off. Like soda or pop is very common to the product. Like it's familiar to the product. Like it makes sense. But when you say cold drink, the way y'all say it, and it describes everything in the refrigerator, that sounds crazy to me. But I'm not going to say y'all stupid. I'm not going to say that y'all shouldn't say that. But you'll say that about me. Y'all say you critiquing us and telling us we saying the wrong thing and laughing and ha-ha, chi-chi, country. You a country bumpkin, chunky. You in the South. I'm from the Midwest. Shut up. Y'all do the countryest shit in the world down here. Now, y'all know I didn't have my conversations about that. It was bad. I'm traumatized of that. Yeah, try going to another country. Try going to another country. Sometimes, to be honest with you, when you out of country, the natives there generally like to hear, your different words or different descriptions of the same thing that they do, because they like learning the lingo of America. They like learning different things. Only in America do we critique and slap just kind of slap each other ideas down and call each other foolish for the things that we believe or see, or if it's different than what you say, or if it's different than what you believe. We always have a problem. Ben said they slow down in New Orleans. Check my friend's gonna be mad at me for saying this, but all you gotta do is check their school records. All you gotta do is go down there and look at the graduation rates and look at the look at the levels of what they're producing in their school systems. And once I learned to start doing stuff like that, a lot of the arguments and the self-esteem issues that I was having from being in those situations, it all went away. It all went away because it took me to understand sometimes people tease because they don't really know any better. Like, in other words, they don't know more. They don't know any better than to do you that way. And it took me some time to understand that. It took me a very important teacher in life, who taught me how just because people don't see things your way don't mean that they're wrong in their way. So I understand it. That's like when I was talking about, and we're not going to go Jeezy part 4. I'm just off of that because obviously we're just in different spaces when it comes to stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not mad at anybody that still loves, stuff like that. I'm just not my flow anymore. So I'm not mad, but at the same time, don't be mad at me because of how I feel about shit like that. That's all I'm saying. Maybe I should have kept my comment to myself on Wyatt Live. But I'm okay with disagreements. I really am. I just, don't try to make me feel guilty because of how I feel about whatever. It ain't gonna never happen. Crash down on me, whatever. Collapse, the walls caving in, all that old shit. I don't care nothing about none of that. I really don't. I mean, you might think my reaction meets whatever you want my feelings to meet, but it really don't. So I don't know what to say about that. I'm just telling you that I learned a long time ago that most people who get teased, this has nothing to do with what I was just talking about. I'm going back a little bit. Most people that get teased a lot, it's usually by kids in the neighborhood who don't have the same type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? There was a time in our life, all of us, I'm sure if you're from certain places, where your timing was off. Let me explain. Timing was off. Stop, Princess Father. Stop. Talking about as a kid. Back in the day, when your timing was off. And what I mean by that is, generally in our neighborhoods, we all got something new right around the same time. I don't know if anybody will agree with that or not, but where we from, most people got new shit at the same time. Christmas. That was the holiday that you knew everybody was coming out with a new toy, new pair of shoes, or something. Everybody timing was on point. But now your birthday throw your timing off a little bit. Okay, birthday, and very seldom will you get an opportunity to just get some shit randomly. You know what I'm saying? Like, mama felt good, got something happened to her, raise or something like that, or maybe she came up on some new shoes, it's a little extra money, so she go get you some canvas Converse, and it's like your birthday is in December, but it's the summertime. Here it is, June. There ain't no Christmas around the corner. Your birthday's 6 months away, and you come up on a pair of new tennis shoes, and everybody, you step outside in them, and everybody wondering, what going on with you? You know what I'm saying? Here come the jealous birds. We ain't supposed to get no new shoes till December. My birthday ain't till February. Fuck you got on new shoes for? See what I'm saying? And now everybody want to play that old stump on your shoe shit. So, you know, they want to put a mark on your shoe because they don't want you to be happy about your stuff. Some of y'all didn't have to grow up like that. Some of us did. So it prepared us for moments in our lives where we were able to get some things that some of our friends, closest people, or people we don't give a shit about, we end up with something. And now we're geared to understand why people treat us like shit because we got something off schedule. We got something they don't have. Feel me? We have something they don't have. And now they want to try to bring you down because you got it. Used to that shit. A lot of us are. Some of, you know, the people that's quiet, they probably the ones who used to be that manipulative type. Try to make you feel bad because your mama worked hard and got you something. Now you all sedity and you this and this and this and that. They want you to feel bad because you got something. Linda Evans says, I didn't spend a lot of time downtown. I came from Madisonville. We didn't have to leave because we had everything there. We really didn't have to leave. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I don't know much about, you know, I shouldn't say that because Madisonville was never somewhere I wanted to be, Linda, to be honest with you. Because look, growing up, my mother had a boyfriend. His name, y'all hear me use the name Rick a lot because Rick is a relevant name in my life. I'm not a character on Wyatt Live. I'm a real person, and all the things you hear me say, my experiences and the things that I've gone through in life, they come from names and people that I actually know. Okay, so when you hear me say Ricky, I grew up with a dude named Ricky that was doing all the shit that Ricky's do in my story. When I say my mama had a boyfriend named Rick, she had a boyfriend named Rick. Okay, Rick happened to be a guy who had their family was from Madisonville. And in Madisonville was almost like the suburbs to me. And the reason why is because growing up downtown in Laurel Homes, we didn't see houses. The only housing that we seen, I mean, literally like houses, single dwellings. We didn't really see that except over like by York Street or something like that. And they were still, it was so much like apartments because they were right around the projects and it wasn't really project people living in them buildings. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, that ain't where we went and lived or any of that, you know, went and played or any of that stuff. They were older people living in those places. It was like grandmas and stuff like that living over there. So we didn't even go in that part of the town. But like Madisonville, it was super clean when I was a kid. I don't know what it's doing now. I haven't been out there in many, many years, but it wasn't doing too well when I was out there many, many years ago. It was a lot of shit going on. It was a mini downtown, to be honest with you, like down the way. And because my father, my real father, lived out there with his people. So, but as a child, I remember Madisonville being a very clean neighborhood. It was like a suburban area. So I didn't really go out there that much. And when I did go, it was only because my mom's boyfriend, whose name was Rick, would take us out there to see his mother. His mother lived right across the street from the YMCA that ended up being probably about 10 years later, maybe no, not 10, maybe 6 years, 7 years later, the YMCA, the Kelly's family bought that building. I don't know if they bought it, but they took over that building and made it a school called CCA, Cincinnati Community Academy. It was an all-black school. And I was enrolled in that school. My mother had me go to that school, and her boyfriend family lived directly across the street from the school. I mean, like right there. And I didn't really know much about Madisonville. None of the kids that went to that school were from Madisonville. We were all like kids from all different areas from downtown. I happened to live in the Fay Apartments when I went there. There was a group of kids from all over the city. Most of them were from suburbs like Bond Hill. They were from like Bond Hill back in the day was the shit. Like y'all know what I'm talking about? Like some of y'all know because you lived there. Bond Hill was a very classy area back in our day. You know what I'm saying? And Avondale. There was huge parts of Avondale that was upscaled and black folks lived there. I don't know if it was South Avondale or North. I don't know how it was pronounced back then. If it was South or North Avondale. I don't know. I think it was South, but it was big houses and black folks lived in them. And, you know, I don't know much about Madisonville. I played out there for a little while. I only went to Madisonville and stayed inside. And when I went to school out there a few years later, it was just a school campus and we stayed there. I just never migrated. I never went into the neighborhood in Madisonville. I didn't start going to Madisonville until it got bad. You feel what I'm saying? Like infested, drug infested. And I know that sounds kind of bad, but like I have a brother who just passed, RIP to my brother Gary. We actual real brothers by blood. We have the same father, and he just passed away a few weeks ago. And I would go out there to see him, and that's, you know, a long story there about what him and I were into. And you know, when I understood what Madisonville was, it was almost too late. It's probably, and I'm just guessing here, guys. I don't know. And if I'm wrong, I apologize to the Madisonville people, but I don't think Madisonville is any better than it was probably 20 years ago. Meaning when it was going downhill, it's just not what it used to be. Last time I drove through Madisonville, there were houses that they needed I'm just gonna say it. I don't know, if I was a young brother, if I was a young man, Avondale would be a gold mine for me as a hustler, not street hustler. I guess it's a street hustler. Madisonville, excuse me. Madisonville would be a gold mine for me. And get your mind out of the gutter. I don't mean selling dope and shit like that. I'm just saying I would go to Home Depot. Okay. And Jack said more than 20 years ago. I would go to Home Depot if I was a young guy right now. I'm too old for this now. But I would go to Home Depot and I would get me a power washer. You know what I'm saying? I would get a power washer and I would go out to the Avondale area and I would actually start a power washing company. I would do driveways. I would do porches. I would do homes. You feel what I'm saying? I would do the side of homes. I would knock the mildew off, all the discoloration. I would do that shit. And I would always, I would be very consistent in my pricing, but I would work with you. Because all I'm doing is hooking. It's just about time and a little bit of effort and a little bit of sweat equity. I would hook my power washer up to their electricity. I would use their water hose and their water from their homes, and I would power wash their homes. I would do the driveway, tons of oil. I would do the driveway. I would do the porch. I would do the front walkway. I would do the side of the houses. I would offer those services. I would knock all that green shit off the side of the house. I'd do that with the power washer. That's just what I would offer that service. And you would be surprised how many people would take advantage of it. Here I am, this young kid. I'm willing to spray your house down for $100. I'm willing to do it for $100. I'm willing to do, because I just see opportunity. I see a lot of different things out there that people just don't take advantage of. And there's people waiting for you to come do it. I just don't see the same hustle that I used to see back in the day. And I'm going to tell you how I know that it's there is because a lot of the people that reach out to me about their ideas, some of them have great ideas. The problem that we run into, to be honest with you guys, is the follow through, the follow up, the follow through. I've worked with people because they had a great presentation, but they can't stick with it for whatever reason. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It's almost like you start out because you're passionate about being your own boss, but you're not necessarily passionate about doing the work. So make sure, this is just a piece of advice to all my entrepreneurs. Make sure that you're more passionate about the work that you're offering, the service that you're offering, versus being your own boss. Because you can be your own boss doing anything that you love to do. Don't just be your own boss doing something that you can just do, because you'll fall out of love with it real fast. And if you fall out of love with what you're doing, You're not going to be good at it. Like, you're not going to come out here and you're not going to spray houses down. You're not going to be on time. You're not going to hit the extra spot that needs to be hit. You're not going to go get the bleach when you need the bleach. You're not going to be good at what you do because you're tired of it. You're burned out. Now, what are you doing? You're providing a bad service. Now you're working a job. Trust and believe, to all my entrepreneurs out here, when you have your own thing, you know it. The first sign of it's going to work out is that you love doing it every day. Every day that you get up, you love doing it. And there's nothing I'll do today over what I'm about to do. And what I'm doing right now for this money is it's work, but it don't feel like work. Now, if you out here like washing cars and don't like washing cars and you just doing cars for the money, I promise you, you're going to leave rims looking crazy. You're not going to get door jams and windows will be streaky. You got 2 weeks before shit like that start to happen. And then people look at your product and they say, bro, you're not that good at this. You're not that good at this. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to go to the car wash, man. I know you saved me $10, but I'm willing to pay the extra $10 to have my shit right. So honestly, when I look to maybe help or invest in someone's company or, something to that nature, the first thing I find out is, well, how long you been doing this? Is this a new idea? Well, yeah, it's new. That's the turnoff for me. Now, if you've been working a detail job, let's just use detail. If you've been working a detail job for the last 3 years and now you're ready to branch out and do your own thing, and I see that you're passionate about what you love to do, which is detailing cars, then there's opportunity there. What do we need? I've helped a couple guys start detail shops over the years, and a lot of them have gone on to, do some big numbers in their detail shops because they went out and got contracts with the car dealerships on the strip, like Coleraine Avenue. Help New Shine over there. They do numbers because they do all of the dealerships use cars, and they probably doing 20 cars a day. That's a lot of cars. That's a lot of detailing. But when you have a staff of 15, 20 guys, that's a good thing. He didn't start out that way. They didn't start out that way. They started out with a bucket because he had already been in the business. And he was like, well, man, this dude, the guy who owned the company wasn't really a good supervisor, good boss, if you want to call him that. And the brother was like, hey, man, I can do this because I'm doing all the work anyway. All he doing is writing down numbers. I said, well, don't be mad at him for writing down numbers. He said, well, what you mean? I said, listen, if I help you do this, who's going to write down the numbers? He said, what you mean? I said, well, the same shit that you're talking about you got a problem with him doing. I mean, he's not detailing cars anymore because he has y'all to do it. But who's going to keep the books? Who's going to keep the numbers? Who's going to do the things that you complaining about what he does? Who's going to do that job that he's doing? Well, I didn't think of that. I know you didn't think of that. And there's nothing wrong with you missing it. But don't let that be the reason you leaving because you feel like he's not going to do the work. Because somebody's going to say that same thing about you because you're about to do exactly what he did. You're gonna eventually get down to a point where you're not going to be the one detailing cars. You're going to make sure that everything's in line and in form for everybody else to do the work. Your job is just different than their job. Don't be mad at that man. Now, if you want to leave, let it be for a different reason. Let it be because he's treating you like shit or something of that nature. Or let it just simply be it's time for you to have your own shit. He said, Wyatt, it's just time for me to have my own shit. Then let's get it. 15 years later, 16 years later, whatever it's been, he's still there. He's still there, and he's dominating that market over there. Proud of him. Proud of him. Let me go to the phone line real fast. I think I still have a caller on the line. Let me just make sure. I do. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Wyatt, my brother, how you feeling? This is Alicia Williams.
What's going on, sis? What's good with you? Wow.
Listen. I have to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I know it's gonna start an uproar in your chats.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna start an uproar. I just want to say the 70s babies, they're nuts.
What?
So yes. And I'm gonna be particular in saying the ones.
Well, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming in today, and it's been a good show.
the ones from downtown. Now, I opened it when I first moved to Cincinnati.
From where?
Columbus.
From Columbus. Okay, you off to a
From
bad
Columbus.
start. You got off
I
to a bad
opened up
start.
my salon in Northside.
Okay.
I got a heavy support system from downtown. You know, the buddies, it just traveled word of mouth, you know, and a lot of wives were coming to the salon to get their hair done.
We're talking about clients here.
The,
A lot of
yes,
support as clients.
the
Okay.
topic of, because the husbands was bringing the wives, the topic of what I thought was pronounced kill a man, but Emmanuel Livingston just corrected me and said it's called kill the man, was brung up in the salon. I've never heard of it in my entire life.
You never heard of the game?
Never heard of the game. Kill a man, kill the man.
Okay.
So it was Bucket and Donnie, and I see Ron is in the chat about it, and it's having me crack up because I'm like, y'all play what? And they say the guys would throw a ball up, or if they didn't have a ball, they will make a ball.
It didn't matter. We'll play with a shoe. We'll play
Yeah.
with it. It didn't matter. Something was gonna be the
And
football.
And crush the kid that caught it.
Yeah.
Crush him.
Yeah.
I said, so was it gear on like football gear? They told me no.
No.
So
No.
the wives could not believe this game existed. So the more I see it, it cracks me up. And I'm like, y'all were crazy.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
The 70s kids who would name the game Kill a Man, Kill the Man? Like what?
Listen, there's only one name for it, sis. There's
Who
only one
started
name.
this game?
I don't know who started it, but I'm gonna tell you this: there's only one name for it. Okay, all that other shit they're
Okay,
talking about.
correct the people.
You ready?
Or correct me.
You ready? No, I don't
I'm
know
ready.
what you called it or what you've been told it's called, but there's only one name for it.
I was told Kill a Man.
That's what it is, and I bet you a mug from down the way told you that.
Yes,
That's what it is.
But Livingston just said Alethea is called Kill the Man.
No, it's not.
And I'm like,
No, it's not.
Get
Demographics.
with
Say no more. No,
Okay.
it's not.
No, it's not. Okay. So there was my question to you was, so there was no safety. This is my question to everybody that's telling me about this game. There was no safety for the kid that caught, well, the boy
Yeah.
who caught the ball. Like
Yeah.
how?
Yeah, there was safety. The safety was get your ass to the end zone as quick as possible without getting your head knocked off. Look, if you could get through the 10 or 15 or 20 kids to the, if you could dodge and get through it and
All
sprint
those
and
kids.
get to the end zone, if you did that, you talk more shit. But guess what you got to do? After you
Right.
get to the end zone with the ball, if it's a Nerf ball or whatever it was, whatever we use as a ball, if you got to the damn end zone, now you can turn around and talk shit. But guess what you got to do now?
Bragging rights.
Yeah, for a minute, a hot second. Now you got to run out of the end zone and try to score to the other end zone.
Oh no.
And that was your ass. That was your
With
ass.
all those kids. And you know what? I have to admit, like, it do sound like fun. Like when I hear the downtown, I mean, they're all older now. They really had a good childhood, but me, myself, I wasn't allowed to go visit, none of that. But to hear them talk about it, it was like, wow, like y'all really had, it was so many kids apparently.
Yeah.
That everybody just played, even if they fought, they wind up playing back, with one another. So it cracks me up. You just had that topic.
Yeah,
And then the Killer Man came up in your comment section. I still can't believe a game like that existed.
I'm not going to say this. I don't mean to sound crazy about nobody in their language and, but, it's ironic that E would come in and teach me tetherball. We never knew what the hell that shit was called, tetherball. And then he says it's called Kill the Man. Who the hell says that? Don't nobody call it Kill the Man. It's Kill a Man.
I know he is cracking up right now.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's just demographics. It's just we probably invented that shit down the way, and then it flooded out on a bus line or something, and then everybody took it out to their own.
I'm serious because I never heard of it, but it's so funny to hear that game even existed. Like well, y'all will knock the head off of a kid, and it's a game that everybody wants to play.
You want to hear the craziest shit in the world, sis, about that Killer Man game? You want to hear?
Yes.
I got one that's even crazier. Hold on, let me just say this to my sis Donna. Donna said, Wyatt, today is Sean's birthday. I want to say happy birthday to my best friend in the world from the Sandbox, Sean Coleman, my brother from another mother. Donna, that's her nephew. Donna know that Sean is my brother. We family. I always will love Sean. Happy birthday. I'm glad you made it this far, both of us. We didn't know we was gonna go this. We didn't know we was gonna make it all the way out here like this, bro, because of how we maneuvered in shark infested water. You know what I'm saying? But that is my brother from another mother. That young man, I'm gonna call him a young man because whatever. But he had my back. He was part of the reason we playing Killer Man. We talking about Killer Man right now. Sean played Killer Man with us. I was a little dude when I was growing up, and Sean was always my big brother. So I want to say happy birthday to my brother Sean, and nothing but love over here, bro. Nothing but he live in Florida too. So happy birthday to you, Sean, man. If you ever catch this video, or if you see this, or if you're watching live, happy birthday, brother. You will always be my brother. Nothing and nobody will ever come between us. I promise you.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Guys had their moments.
I just wanted to call.
Wait a minute, because I got to talk to you about something.
Tell you about
guys
that,
have their moments.
Cracking up.
Guys have their moments. Some shit come between fellas like you'll never believe. Money, girls. But for some of us, man, we'll never let none of that type of shit get in between us. We might go years without talking to one another about certain things, about whatever. But in my heart, I'll never lose a friend over something that I can replace. I can't replace my friend, but I can replace all that other stuff. All right.
He's from down the way too?
Yeah. I mean, we sand boxes. He was probably my first friend, male friend. Kathy Rogers was my first female friend, but I mean, like, his mom used to babysit me. Miss Bonnie used to babysit me. That's Donna's sister. LaDonna on here, that's her sister. They used to, my mama would babysit him, and his mama would babysit me. We lost his mom when we were juniors in high school. And or maybe sophomores in high school. I don't really remember. About 14, 15, something like that. And it was a hard time. So he had to raise his brother Leon. And it was, I mean, they were, doing what they were doing, different families here and there. But it was, we all catch different breaks in life. And Mama Birch said Sean lived at 1341 John Street. Damn, Mama Birch. You had to take his ass home a few times, didn't you, Mama Birch? Yeah, just like you took me home. But anyway, go ahead. Alethea. I'm sorry, sis.
No, you're good. I just, just hearing some of the stories, it makes me realize like that was a good year. I called y'all nuts or whatever, but y'all played some dangerous.
I know what
games.
It was. I know what it was. I'm sorry, sis. You were talking about the Killer Man. I said I had a story for you. Then I lost it because I went into my deep down the way shit. But now here's the thing. Got out to the Faye apartments, still playing Killer Man. Everybody from the Faye was from somewhere else, okay? We played Killer Man out there, right? Listen. Craziest shit in the world I've ever seen in my life. We, as my friends, me, David Goodwin, Chili, Eugene Williams, all of us, we was just a clique, right? Out there on the Williamsburg boys. That's what we was called. And we played Killer Man on Williamsburg against the other side of the Williamsburg, okay? But we all come together and we play Killer Man. We played right outside my door in the grass. But when the wintertime came and we wanted to be grown and wanted to be big boys and we wanted to be solid, guess what we played Killer Man at, sis?
Don't say on the concrete.
Yes, we did. Right in the middle of the street. We would play Killer Man from one street light to the other street light. Those were the goalposts. So the end zone was on one side of the street light. And we played Killer Man in the street. Tackle football.
I used to think Donnie was making these stories up with like that and crab apples and jumping from one building to the other from the top of.
Let me ask you something. Have you seen your husband's knees lately?
Yeah, he got a lot of scars, but he talks about his childhood, and it is like the best. He don't talk about it in a negative way. It's just all the
No,
friends,
it is
and
what
we
we
still
did.
go out with, you know, them. Of course, everybody moved on, married, and
Yeah,
you know, but
yeah.
it seemed like a fun time. But it's just unbelievable to somebody who hadn't experienced
That's
something
what
like that
you
or
know
heard
what?
of it.
These are the moments that I enjoy the most on this platform is I'm able to share some of them stories and they're so relatable to a lot of people. A lot of people then forgot about the stuff. And then we are talking about it and we wake it up again. It's like you know, it's my favorite part of Wyatt Live. You know, I don't like talking about a lot of the things that we talk about. Matter of fact, Jerica said something to me yesterday. She called me. She said, I think I'm the blueprint and that I think I know everything. And here's what I want to express about that. Okay. I want to tell y'all, yes, I do think I know everything because I only talk about shit that I know about. Who do you know that have a conversation with you and when they talk to you, they think they wrong? I don't know anybody that I have. When Alethea calls this show, I think whatever she's telling me and talking to me about, she believes and she thinks she's right about it. Right? I mean, it would only make sense. That's how you have a conversation. Yeah, you're right. I only talk about the things that I can relate to, that I've been through, and that feel right to me. My opinion don't have to match your opinion. It don't have to be the same as your opinion, but that don't mean I'm wrong, and it don't mean you're wrong either. But if I come across like my opinion is the only one that's right, that's only because I firmly believe that I'm right. That's it. I don't necessarily know that my right is right for you. All right. It's right for me, though. And last time I checked, I never got on here and had any conversations about some things that's really not relatable to my life. You feel what I'm saying, sis? Like most of the stuff we talk about here has something to do with what I've been through, what I've been able to
Right,
witness, what I've been
right.
able to feel, or when I talk about that case, that brawl downtown, I don't
Mm-hmm,
tell you,
mm-hmm.
you know, anything outside of the scope of the law. My opinion might be how they're going to handle some of that, but what I'm telling you is real based on that law stuff. You know, the cases that are going on that are pending and
Right.
how the history of how things are being dealt with, how they're going to do it. So yeah, if I come off like I'm a Mr. Know-it-all, a lot of my attitude comes from the fact that I've been saying things for so long, sis. You've been here. We've been here 5.5 years, almost 6 years here soon. And a lot of the things I talk about are premature. They're like before it actually happens. And then when we actually get when we get to this space and now it happens and it turned out the way I told you it was going to turn out, yeah, I'm going to act like I told you so because I did. That's just how it works.
Yep, yep, that is true. And I even like off air when you talk about things or talk about like a certain individual, you won't say their name or use a. Actually, it happened last week, or use a nickname. I ran right into a guy that you were talking about, and I was like, "Wow, I just had talked about this," you know. But my husband introduced me,
Mm-hmm.
um, and he actually, you know, gave him a couple dollars or whatever, and I was like, "Yeah, this stuff it do be real. Like it's not, you know,
Because I'm
fake
not,
or anything, false information. You
no,
know,
and sis, I'm not
it's
here to make
real."
anybody, I'm not here to degrade. I never degrade anyone. I'm not here to degrade, but if I could put a face, if I could put a, if I can put a person to the subject, I'm going to do that. All right. It don't mean that I got to call somebody out or make them, when I say lean, I know who I'm talking about, but then some will be like, damn, okay, I'm recognizing the game now. I know exactly who he's talking about. Because some people will hear me say, what about your leaders? And you have to affiliate what we're talking about at that time to what they've been representing. Like if you got leaders right now that are super quiet about some of the things that they've been going against all this time, and now all of a sudden they super quiet, you have to ask yourself, why are they so damn quiet when the city is doing one thing against what they've always been against, and they
Right.
super
It's
quiet
like
right now?
they just want the messier part of it. They want you to name drop. But
Or
everybody's who's been following the topics, they know exactly who
exactly,
that person is. Yeah. But you
exactly,
don't have to name drop
or they
every time. You want
exactly,
to make it clean.
exactly, or they sitting back waiting for their money to get right. See, it's okay to make sure everybody they stay, get in the way and mess everybody else's money up, but they ain't gonna mess their money up. So I'm gonna be quiet until my money gets straight. You know what I'm saying? Once my money gets straight, then I'll get back out here and be a damn. I gotta pay attention to shit like that. Are you doing it for your money, or are you doing it for the real reason of why you out here representing? You're doing it for people. See, you got to pay attention to shit like that. I don't know why we so closed-minded and we feel like people that look like us got our best interest at heart all the time. And those are the main people that always want to throw the other man up when they making their moves. And I just pay attention. That's all. From city to city. It's like that. I was up in Cleveland last week, following the things, looking at the news, how they city council was doing what they do. It's a normal play. There ain't a unique city that they all act the same way. What you get out of these cities are the same thing because they have the same actors. You can do the New Jack City play, and it can have 3 different casts going to 3 different cities, and they all gonna play the same theme. They all gonna play the same thing. So it don't matter if you go to Chicago, Cincinnati, or Philadelphia to see one of them 3 plays. The act is all the same. You understand what I'm saying? It's all the same, and they all gonna look for a standing ovation at the end of the play. Now, some read between that line, and then some could just play like I just didn't deliver a bar, and that's cool. But that's how it is, whether you see it or not. Go to a city near you that act like your city, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Go ahead, sis.
Yep. Well, I just wanted to end off with this because this was another joke that I feel like only downtown kids went through. When Donnie told me that his recess used to get cut short because cows got loose from calm.
That's real. That's real. Girl.
It only happened to the downtown kids.
You know why? Did he ever tell you why?
Yeah,
because
he told us. He said it was Washburn and Bloom.
Yeah, you know why?
I was like, what?
Over by Sands Montessori, all that. There's a slaughterhouse right behind Stanley Road. And sometimes the trucks would either tip over or somebody would leave a gate open at the slaughterhouse. And cows and pigs and all type of shit would be running out of the damn gate because they was getting slaughtered, literally killed, slaughtered over there. Yeah. So they would run out and get away. And they would. This sound like some country shit, don't it? But
it do. It seems unbelievable until you meet another person from down the way, and they all have the same like story and cry. I mean, the biggest smile comes on these grown people's faces. Yeah. And I said, let me finish off with this because that is like the 2 wildest things I heard that downtown kids did, and it just makes me laugh. And I was no part of it, but to say that. We can't go outside because the cows got loose.
Sound like we live in Texas somewhere. Yeah, sound like we in Texas. But the truth of the matter is, Cincinnati, Ohio. I've lived in a lot of cities, sis, and Cincinnati, Ohio is not country at all. To be honest with you, it is a concrete city, like concrete. It's not you didn't have a lot of kids walking around with their shoes barefoot. Like in the country, in Louisiana, like a lot of people walk around with the shoes off and shit like that. Cincinnati wasn't really like that. We had one family, Beanie and them, up in the Fay. Nobody I ever knew in my life downtown ever walked around with their shoes off. Now, it did get real in the hood downtown when we had our little get-togethers and our races around the fence, because that's when everybody, like the girls, were notorious for taking their shoes off to race you. Okay, that happened because they didn't want to run out of their jelly shoes. You remember them little plastic ass jelly shoes? They didn't want to run out of those or whatever they was rocking, and that made them faster. They didn't have anything on their feet. But outside of that, nobody walked around the neighborhoods barefooted, nothing like. It was not country at all. But it got country when the Conn's meat plant down there brought cows and pigs and shit in, or whatever they were doing down at Conn's to slaughter. It was a slaughterhouse. And that was the only time we ever seen pigs and cows, is when them trucks came through from the farms that were out somewhere far away. That's the only time we seen them. And it was kind of funny to see that shit run down the street sometime. We would trip out off of it. But it'd get you out of school. You didn't have to go to school because it was dangerous.
Yeah. So I'm going to say y'all should all have a reunion with Killer Man football game. I guarantee now one of y'all going to grab that ball.
Ain't no way. There ain't no way. And here go the last thing about that, sis. Whenever somebody had a problem, whenever somebody had a problem with somebody in the hood, in the neighborhood, we just take it out in Killer Man. if I knew
Oh, my
if somebody
God.
didn't like what I was doing or how I was moving, because if I threw the ball up in the air after getting the ball and getting tackled, the person that gets tackled has to stand up and throw the ball up in the air until the next,
Oh,
for somebody else to get it. So if you
ooh.
was the one who got tackled and you stood up and threw the ball up in the air and the ball came right back down in the ground and it came right back to you, nobody wanted to get the ball because they want your ass to get the ball again
To
so they
get
can
the ball.
try to crack you wide open. That you always knew. And then sometimes people just be like, well, go heads up, and they'll just let one guy catch the ball and just let them go heads up. And that's how we settled our beefs. We didn't shoot, we didn't fight. Well, we would fight sometime, but after the fight, it was all Gucci. We was cool. You feel me? It ain't like today.
I'm so glad y'all had a good time, though. I just wanted to call and start some trouble with these 70 kids. Y'all seem like y'all had a good child life,
We
though.
had a good
like
life.
Fun.
And
yeah.
you would think that we would have passed that good life down to our children, but the problem is times changed and things got a little bit more, kids, including our kids had more to choose from than just going outside and living off the land. We lived off the land. We lived off of games that we created games. We created moments. We created history, our own memories.
Yeah.
Kids today have things put up for them and set up for them. And, they don't have the same, they don't have to use their imaginations like we had to back in the day.
Right. Yeah. There's no internet. You didn't have all the cell phones and
none of that.
things like that. You actually played with the other kids, and anything that traveled by mouth, which, you had to be there to even talk about it, or it was hearsay.
Absolutely. All right,
But
sis,
go
what else
ahead,
we got?
Wyatt. I ain't going to keep holding you up,
right.
but keep living those memories.
All right, sis. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. Bye-bye.
Talk to you. Bye-bye. Yeah, we just had a little different way. We just did things different. Donna said, yeah, we would fight, be friends in about 2 days. Something like that. I had a friend, we had a fight. A couple days later, I came outside. He wanted a piece of my whatever I was eating. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I had a fight with a dude. I don't know. Some of y'all might remember. Princess Flower might even remember this. I'm not quite sure. Not Marvin. I had a fight with Byron off the bus. We was coming home from Gamble. Somebody said something on the bus. Sometimes people start shit and you in a fight, don't even know why you in a fight. So something happened. I don't even remember what we was beefing for. We wasn't really beefing, but we had a fight on the bus, the metro. We was talking crazy on the metro to one another. And it got to a point where when we get off the bus, we gonna bang, we gonna hit. Got off the bus. I still don't know why we was fighting. He probably don't know. He got off the bus. We had a fight right at the tip of Williamsburg. You know what I'm saying? Like we banged out. We had a fight. He got me. He got the best of me. I ain't, you can't be where I'm from and win every fight. If you do, you're a bad boy. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Nobody won every fight. He got me. Byron got out on me on that one. I went home. Came to school the next day in the morning. I didn't see Byron at the bus stop. I was like, ooh, I'm glad. I'm glad. Because I was kind of like ready to go again. I just didn't want to lose again. But I was ready to go again because that's how we were. Like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna keep going till I win. For some reason, I didn't see him on the bus. Sometimes we had 2 buses that come. So if you missed the first one, you can catch the second. He wasn't on the first one. Rode to school, got all the way to Gamble, junior high. Didn't see Byron nowhere. It was lunchtime. I'm sitting down right next to Chanel. That's my little girl from back in the day, Chanel. I'm sitting next to Chanel, and I see Byron come in the lunchroom, in the cafeteria. It was pizza day. Well, it was pizza day for us every day at Gamble. You can eat pizza every day. I'm sitting down, Chanel on this side. Now, Chanel know we just had a fight, but we kids, Byron comes sit right next to me. Like shit didn't just jump off yesterday. I'm like, this dude about to come over here. We about to fight, get suspended. My mama gonna kill me. He come over and sit next to me and we eating lunch like we didn't just have that fight yesterday. We get home, we go back after school, we get on the bus, ride back to the Faye. We get off the bus at the same time and we look at each other. It was nothing. I don't even remember why we fought. Somebody was ooh and an eye, and then we settled that shit the way we knew how to settle it, and it was over with. And we never became friends. We just knew each other from, the way or whatever. But sometimes what I've learned in life is that you can get your ass kicked, but yet still get a little respect. The one thing that I've learned is fight back, because Byron was a little bit bigger than me, but I was that little dude that I didn't have short syndrome or no shit like that. I just had little man syndrome. I wasn't the shortest guy. I was just the smallest guy. And it was those moments in those times that taught me that you get a lot of respect when you stand up for yourself and when you fight back, whether you win or lose. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I took some L's, but I got a little respect, and it slowed down it slowed down the bullying. It slowed down anything that would come my way, because they knew you got your hands full if you fight. If you're gonna bully him, you think you're about to take his shoes, he gonna fight for his shoes. So you both pick on a harder target. He's not a soft target. And I mean, lessons in life. Those are the lessons that carried on. I wouldn't trade those lessons for nothing, because you got people to this day that don't know how to handle certain adversities. And it may not be fighting. It might be manipulation in the job place. Somebody might be manipulating you, or manipulating the floor that your whole floor that you work on. And now they got everybody looking at you sideways, and you don't really know how to deal with that because you've never dealt with that as a kid or in college. You never just really dealt with that. Everything's been gravy. It's been peachy. It's been Gucci for you. And now your conflict resolution might be a little bit different. And what I'm noticing is, some of this aggression of conflict resolution tends to carry over into adulthood as well. That's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't like whooping, because I thought whoopings were always winning. And I know a lot of us have disagreements on that, but I always thought that whooping children promoted violence. See what I'm saying? Like unnecessary violence. Do what I say, or I am going to beat you up. I'm going to knock you out. My mama used to tell me all the time, boy, I'm going to knock your head off. No, you're not, Mom. You're not going to knock my head off. That's what I would say about it. And one day I didn't challenge her, but I said something that was really a little disrespectful. She said some shit to that nature. I'm going to knock your head off. I said, Mom, you can't do that. Stop. I probably should have never said that. I still have my head, but I probably should have never said that, because it led to my mom doing something that she probably regretted doing to me, which was, how parents grab something and chase you. It was one of them type of situations. I would never put my hands on my mother or anything of that nature, but my mother didn't have a problem putting her hands on me. So, I mean, another story for another day. Couple things real fast. City of Cincinnati passes, what is it, $5.4 million? Linda Evans says, I never had a big problem with people. It was 10 of us. Oh, shit. Yeah, big families usually don't. Y'all problems were within. You probably fought more with your brothers and your sisters, meaning, than you did in the streets. You know what I'm saying? You argued more. I don't mean physically fought. Maybe you did, but I mean, you probably had more problems internally. Usually people that live in neighborhoods, they don't mess with the families that are huge. That's just kind of like, you don't want to do that. That's dumb. But yeah, it looks like the city voted on passing the $5.4 million budget increase, or whatever they call it, for public safety. Why? Why y'all do that? Hasn't the mayor come on Black Radio and other platforms and all that old shit talking about how safe the city is? Are you trying to tell me that what that so-called brawl warranted y'all really think this has something to do with the $5.4 million? What? Huh? Did you see how the money's being distributed? Let me see. I think I might have took a copy of it. I don't know. I may have, I may not. I've seen some things. Yeah, I did take a picture of it. Did y'all see how they distributed that $5.4 million? Did you see what it's all going to? Did you see $800,000 going to the 3CDC expanded ambassador program? Now, what the fuck is that? So now this money is going into 3CDCs and these nonprofit organizations, and it's going into curfew center, youth outreach workers, 200,000. Finley Market safety improvement, 150,000 cameras and lights on Ray Street and Finley Market. Why are you doing all this shit now? I thought we were safe. Hold on. What else we got? We got mobile safety camera trailers, 100,000. Boy, I sure would like to be a contractor right now. I sure would like what do they call them? I don't know. One of these stores that sell cameras or install cameras and video and video, and you know, I sure would like to have a company that does all this stuff. How about this one? License plate readers, 360,000. Money to replace the city's current license plate readers that officially says are more than 10 years old. The new readers will be able to connect to the Fusus network. They're putting $40,000 in drones, then spending another $100,000 on drone inspection, drone expansion. Wow. Wait a minute, here's a goodie. Here's a goodie. Here's a goodie. Where it go? Hold on, let me see. Bond and sentencing project, $250,000. Money to study data. Y'all could have paid me $100 to tell you this bullshit about the bonding system. I tried to tell you that when I interviewed your city chief down there, but y'all don't. It's all good. This is nothing but another money grab. This is the same shit that they do. They always think that the money is going to solve the problems that exist, when in fact you got to change the people. You don't change the money. Has nothing to do with it. I don't see any of this money going toward the people. I see this going into policing and policing the people that you're not changing. All right. So don't get mad. It's funny how I don't hear anybody that always talk about we don't need more police. I don't hear a creak from them. It's funny. I don't hear it. I wonder why. I don't hear anybody who had a problem with policing and all that time that y'all been talking about. We don't need more police. We're good. Crime is not high. Crime is down. Crime this and this and this and that. I guess we all good. I guess it's all good now that we got 5.4 million going into these programs, I guess, huh? Where are all the people that say we don't need all this stuff? It was all good. What's up, Denise Davis? She says CPD West End camera expansion, 150,000. That should have been done. That should have been done 4 murders ago. I could probably go back further than that, but I'm just going off the brain. If you come into the community saying everything's safe and good, why is there a laundry list of improvement here? This shit was working before. All of a sudden it's not working anymore. Now we need all of this when in fact you've been saying it's all good. And where are all the people that's been standing up saying Cincinnati's safe? It ain't no problems. It's all good. Y'all mad at me because, not mad at me, but y'all was making it tough on me, calling me whatever you want to call me because I was bringing things to light. When I was telling you, well, why is there an average of 75 felonies on the docket every day? If everything's Gucci and everything's good, you don't even see the dockets. I told you, you don't even see 10% of the crimes that happen in your city. It's designed that way. Oh yeah, here go that I told you so moment, and that people hate to say because I think I know everything. Just so happens the things that I talk about happen to be true. And I sound like I know I sound like I think I'm talking. I sound like I think I know everything. That's because what I talk about, I know about. Y'all just don't know it yet. So then when it comes true, now you got to hear the guy who you didn't hear the first time because you didn't run. You got to hear him say, I told you so. And then I'm the bad guy for telling and spitting some bars and telling you the truth about this shit. Yeah, it's all good though. Y'all quick to tell people what they vote for, but yet don't look in the mirror and ask yourself, well, what am I voting for? Brenda Early, you always ask me that. She says, who was calling you anything? Brenda Early, they don't say it on the air. They're gone. Some of them have deleted me. Some of them come up with these fake names and they put them in the chats, not chats, but in the posts, or what do they call it? The DMs and stuff. And I have a memory of an elephant. So sometimes it's not like it's an everyday occurrence, but I do. Brenda, let me be honest with you and say this to you, because you've been here a long time. You should know what I'm talking about because you've been here a long time. You know, some of them people not here anymore. They don't come in here, but they here. They act like they're not here. We know that they're watching. They have other things that they can watch, but you can surf. You can podcast surf. You can go back and forth and listen to what you think is interesting on one and come back to the other. And this. These are the people that put my name in their mouth on other platforms. Let's just put it to you like that. So if you ever see that somewhere that you are, Brenda Early, if you ever see somebody tag me or put my name in something, those are usually the people that I'm talking about that don't quite do that same. They don't do it over here. They just have my name tagged or in their mouth somewhere else. See what I'm saying? Some of them I'm cool with. I'm not tripping. Some of them are tagging me for a reason because they want me to hear what's being said or something. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people that have called me names on other platforms and y'all know they doing it. Carolyn Smith, I know. You didn't know either, sis. You weren't really here. But Brenda Early, you got to know what I'm talking about. You know there's several people that don't watch the platform anymore. I had nicknames for them. We was all cool. Everything was Gucci. Everything was good until after the election. Then it was my fault that Trump got elected, as if I told anybody here who to vote for. Matter of fact, I kind of was shooting gems at y'all about stop talking all that Trump shit every day. Talking about dirty Trump every day is not going to get your person elected. What's going to get your person elected is when you can have a debate and talk about how good you are and your person, not how bad the other person is. I know for decades, Black folks have looked at elections as being, you look at, election campaigns and you look at the campaigns and they always running dirty, bad ads about their opposition. See, me, I don't really buy into the dirty, messy campaigns of the other guy or the other girl. I don't like that. Tell me who you are. Tell me about you. I can give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about if you like. I said the same thing back then. Connie Pillage. Y'all ain't know nothing about no damn Connie Pillage. You know she a Democrat. That was enough. But you knew everything that was bad about Melissa Powers because she was associated with Eric Dieters. So they're racist. They're all these things that you pile up. You got all the information you know to not vote for them, but you don't know nothing about the person that you're going to vote for. Let me ask you a question. If you're in the market for a new man, if you're in the market for a new woman, and you got a buddy or a friend who's telling you, hey, you might want to go check Charlie out. Charlie, a nice young man. But let me tell you about his ex. She this, she that, she this, she that, she this, she that, she ain't this, she ain't that, she do this, she did that, she bow, she did that, she did this and she did that, she ain't shit, she ain't that, she did this and she did that. You know everything that's bad about Charlie's ex. And now you going out with, well, I'm going to go out with Charlie. And Charlie ain't shit. That's because you focus on all what was wrong with Charlie's ex and didn't learn a damn thing about Charlie himself. So now Charlie got you in a position where now you stalked, hawked, and, you're in a bad situation. You're in a bad spot. That's what you got in your prosecutor right now, because some people, no need to name them. No need to name them. Had all those other people names in their mouth the whole time when all you had to do was say, hey, here's our people right here. This is what's good about this person. We don't need Melissa Powers. We have her, and here's her track record. This is how we know she's going to do our community right. And when it's time to put the people over certain situations, she'll do us right, because here's her track record. Here's how she's been doing things. This is where she came from. This is what she know. Yeah, I remember her from this and this and this and that, and talk highly on her. You couldn't even have an interview with this lady on Black radio without bringing up the opposition and talking about the opposition in front of her, because you didn't know enough about her to have a conversation about her. So, I mean, that's what you end up getting when you do identity politics. And what I mean by that is when you vote for somebody based on their party versus who they really are. I see it happen all the time. And that's why a lot of these cities end up the way they are. Cleveland is no different than Cincinnati. If you don't believe it, go up there. Spend some time up there. You'll see what I'm talking about. Same players. They got podcasters up there. They got Black activists. They got people that work for the police, meaning activists that work for the police, that work for the city. They got contractors. They got all the same shit Cincinnati got. And don't be surprised if Governor DeWine ends up in Cleveland next. And it's not going to be because of a brawl, which I want to call a brawl. It's going to be because of the fucked up shit they got going up there, just like Cincinnati. Wasn't it a black man killed yesterday? Another one? Was that even spoke on? I don't mean talked, like brought up. Was it spoke on? No leading suspects. Nobody don't know shit. But we want to talk about Charlie, what's his name? Charlie Kirk being a racist. Got you. I don't know. I was raised a little bit different. Mama always told me to take care of my house. Take care of me first. Take care of yours first. Hell, go on with everybody else. See what I'm saying? We might want to try that. Make it a little bit easier. I love saying this is a bar. I feel it's a bar. Anybody that feels it's not a bar, I challenge you. You want to protect black women, marry one. If you're not doing that, stop. You just talking shit. You just talking shit. They don't. Terry Coleman says, no, yesterday talk was all about Charlie. The news didn't even mention the school shooting that happened yesterday. Exactly. See, the division is real, Terry. They want you to talk about the obvious division. They want to create the division so the other stuff don't really matter. Now, everybody, each side, both sides has this thing about, they have these distraction conversations. Both sides do it. Okay. You just have to pick which distraction is drawing you off of what's really what your life is about. Okay. Charlie Kirk had nothing to do with the black community whatsoever. Okay. Nothing. His opinion of the black community should have no play or no say into how we move. So why is it so important that he's a racist? Or he's a this, or he's a that. Why does Charlie Kirk even play significance in the black community? Why would we even care? Because the more we can say he's hateful, this and this and this and that, it uprages us. It makes us angry, right? And we affiliate it with other shit, but it ain't got nothing to do with what we move, how we moving and what we doing. It don't have anything to do with any of that. So why should it even matter? You know why it matters? Because what it does is it makes the $5.4 million money that came into the new budget, it makes it all about Trump and the takeover. It makes it all about everything that it really isn't. It makes you forget that the data shows that Cincinnati needs help, but yet your own people won't even tell you that it needs help. They'll have you believing that the help is a distraction. I don't get it. I don't get it, and I probably never will get it. Okay. It is the biggest manipulative move that you can do to a people that actually care. You know, what I've learned is this. if you look at a lot of, I probably shouldn't use this as an example because it's probably going to be juvenile to some people. Remember the Joker from Batman? The Joker veered off to do his own thing, became a big star. The Joker was a villain. You know how the Joker became a villain? The people made him a villain. Okay? The bullying, the treating him like he wasn't shit, the pushing him around and all that old stuff. It turned a powerful person into a villain. And to be honest with you, I think a lot of villains are created by the people, not so much what they have done before they were the so-called villain. People don't want to, sometimes people don't want to let someone be the bigger person in the room or the person that know a little bit more than everybody. They don't really want that person to shine, especially if it can affect them in certain kind of ways. Like if this person can show us how to fix something, then they don't need me anymore. So why should I make it easy for that person to do what they're trying to do? And that is to show us how to get through this. I heard a clip the other day. Some of y'all gonna be mad because some of y'all like this lady. And I might have to pull out a receipt. I heard a lady who a lot of people respect say it's not the police's job to stop crime. It's only their job to, what did she say? She said, it's not the police's job. And I want to know who's seen this clip too. It's not the police's job to prevent crime. It's their job to I tell you what I'll do. I'll just play the clip. Let's just do that. And you tell me if you agree with this or not. I'm not going to be judged. I have my opinions on it, but I need your opinion on it. You tell me if this makes any sense to you or not. Okay. And some people will probably say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll leave it up to you to say before I pass judgment on what people will say. Let's see here. Let me see here. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah. Watch this clip right here, and you tell me if this makes sense to you, and if it does, tell me how. Okay. Check this out. And you'll know this person's name if you don't know the name. Well, it's in the video clip, I believe. Check it out.
That like law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Law enforcement solves crime. Okay. That is what they're supposed to do. They are supposed to solve crimes, necessarily prevent them from happening per se.
What's your opinion? What's your opinion on that? I didn't want to say it wrong, so I wanted her to say it out of her own mouth. Law enforcement is not supposed to prevent crime. Let me hear it again. Let me make sure I got this right. Let me make sure I'm understanding this. I don't know anybody in my neighborhood that would say some shit like that. I don't know who grandmother would want to hear this representation of what police officers are supposed to be doing out here. But listen to this. And this is like a bar. This is like some real shit that she really believed. But check it out.
I want to be clear that like law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Law enforcement solves crime. Okay. That is what they are supposed to do. They are supposed to solve crimes, not necessarily prevent them from happening per se.
Law enforcement is not supposed to prevent crime. They're supposed to solve crime. Ron Dixon says, I agree. Come on, bro. How could you possibly? Okay, so let me ask you something. Is the guard in front of the bank or at the bank in the hallway of the bank, is he there just in case, like, he don't do shit until after the crime happened? Or is he there for preventable measures? Oh my goodness. Princess Flower says, I agree with her. Okay. Like I said, then let me ask you this. Why do they have beat cops? Why do they have cops downtown Cincinnati walking the beat? So when something happens, they can solve it, or are they there to be a preventative measure? Well, no, you can't have it both ways. It only worked one way in this argument. Then if we don't have, what's the point in having beat cops or having police officers stand right out on the street or have them in their police cars and stuff like that? What's the point? Why don't we just have why don't we just have investigators? Because investigators they come in after the crime has happened and they figure out what happened and then go after the crook. Right? So what's the point in having beat cops if all cops they're only in place to solve crime. They're not to prevent it. Hold on. Been about to check says, I think they are confused. That's what they do. That's what they do, not what they are supposed to do. Princess Flower says, I'm a security guard, so I prevent crime. Well, okay. In an argument like this, I think you can only have one winner. Jericho, I don't think this is a both things can be true at the same time situation. It is a true thing. They prevent crime, but that's not what she's saying they do. She says they're not supposed to prevent crime. They're just supposed to solve crime. But we all know, our common sense tell us that they prevent crime and they solve crime. That's their job, right? But it's not technically that they're not here for preventative measures. That's not what they are on the. That's why you have cops and those ambassadors that they paying $300,000 for downtown. What's the point in having those ambassadors that they put, those 3 CDC ambassadors down there? What's the point in having them? Are they crime solvers or are they crime preventers? Are police officers walking down there with full gear on through downtown Cincinnati, through Main Street? Are they crime solvers or are they preventing crime by being present and people don't want to commit crimes in front of them? I mean, they're deterrents. It goes back to this money. For me, it's just like we've been told it was safe. Or y'all telling me that the data in the last month tells Cincinnati that they need $5.4 million to do the things that we were under the impression were already there and being done? Y'all see, the truth came out afterwards. You've been lied to. The truth came out. And here's my thing. Where are all the people that said you can't police yourself out of this? Where are all those people at? You've been hearing them for years saying we can't police our way out of this problem. I don't hear them saying anything about all the police that they about to bring in. The state, they bring in state troopers. They bringing in, who else they bringing in? State and who else? Not DEA. Or they are bringing the DEA in because they have this drug task force that they have going on. And also the FBI is coming in because now they want to try to give extra time to people with weapons under disability charges. They tried that about how long ago was that? We were on the air. So it had to be within 5 years. It might have been the first year we were on the air when the feds came into Cincinnati and they were saying, we're picking up all gun charges, certain gun charges. If you had a weapons under disability charge, the feds was picking it up and they were giving you, and I had a sheet here. I don't remember what I did with the sheet, but the sheet said you would get a mandatory 5 years on a weapons under disability. Mandatory. And that was Fed time. And you got to understand, in the city of Cincinnati, or I should say Hamilton County, if you catch a gun charge with a weapons under disability, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's a mandatory 36 months plus whatever time you have on the shelf. Because most people that catch weapons under disability, and I don't mean to say everybody, but most people that catch a weapons under disability charge, most of them are on paper already. You see what I'm saying? They already on probation or some type of parole release or something, and they have time on the shelf. So most of them will face that 36 months plus whatever they had on the shelf. It didn't slow nothing down. I made an announcement right here on this show. How long ago was it, y'all? Some people were here. They remember that show because I ran it for a couple days, maybe 2-3 days out of a week. And I was like, bro, I'm going to do the announcement here because nobody on TV will do it. If y'all out here in these streets acting crazy and you catching gun cases, the feds is here. They was on Channel 9 News, Channel 12 News, and they were running it down for everybody. And they were telling y'all that we're coming in here and we adding time for these bullshit cases. And I ran it. I said, bros, y'all be ready because, hey, didn't stop a beat. And let me tell you what happened. Y'all didn't hear much about it. I knew what was going on because I'm in the court system. Guys was catching extra time. Weapons under disability charges, they was getting hit with them. They was co-charges. It was crazy. Nobody paid attention. But it happened in real life. It really happened. Let me go to the phone lines. Give me 1 second. Ben about to check said, Twin, you weren't even listening. You weren't even listening to Wyatt when that was talked about. Probably. I don't think Twin was. I don't know. Did he say he remember that? Maybe he watched the show. Y'all know I keep track. I don't know, bro. I got it on YouTube. You can watch some of my older stuff. Sabrina Calloway was on the show at that time. She's been here since day one. She's one of our day ones. She said it was out 2 or 3 years ago. Terry said crime will continue to go up since our people very well known. Excuse me. I'm sorry. The screen moved. I'm sorry about that, Terry. Terry Coleman said crime will continue to go up since our people very well know who doing all this killing and not saying anything, yet smile in family faces knowing the truth. It's a sad situation, isn't it, Terry? I'd like to have more conversations about that instead of oppositional politics thoughts and all this old shit. I'd rather have those type of conversations, but it always tends to veer back to politics because for some odd reason, the community, we don't understand that the leaders they're the most pivotal of the they hold the key to the information that's needed for us to be able to move the right way. And I don't think people understand that the information I'm not saying they're not giving us information. I just think it's off. I think if we truly understood that if you get rid of all the shit that's putting us in these conditions, some of those folks won't be needed anymore. Can you imagine living in a world where people benefit off your suffering? And then they put people that look just like you in place to make sure you ignore the true reason of why you're going through what you're going through. It's almost like throwing somebody in a 12-foot swimming pool and never teaching them how to swim, but you go rescue them all the time. And every time you rescue them, I got you. They ain't got no business throwing you in this swimming pool. Come on, let me take you to the side, pick you up and throw you off to the side. And then when they get out the swimming pool, they throw your ass right back in. It's almost like people do this to you to save you so you'll feel comfortable with them. They never teach you how to swim. They just teach you how to stay above water and pedal and pedal. They never teach you how to get to the side. They know you need them to jump. They need you. They know that you're going to jump in and save them. They know it. And that be their argument. Now I'm paraphrasing, but that's the argument all the time. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Hello?
It's me, man.
Hey, what's up, twin? How you doing?
I couldn't call it.
What's on your mind today?
Who has been about a chick or whatever his name is? You know him personally?
I don't know him personally. He's just somebody on the show that been here
A
for a long
goof ass troll, I see.
Well, he's been here a long time. I will say that.
I know he been on Lincoln Ware and all that. Another troll or whatever. Let me tell you something, Wyatt. My family, man, down in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Got with no license. Got caught with a bank and everything. Gave him 2 years, man. When you got a switch now, it's an automatic. And I know in Illinois now, either a switch or a gun, it's automatically 5 to 10, something like that. I want to say 5.
Okay.
So he got caught with a driver no license and a banger and stuff, which 2 years and everything. So I don't know what been about a check talking about. I didn't hear you say that. I probably went on the platform, missed the day or something like that, and listen to your podcast when you was talking about it.
Yeah,
So
I think I was talking about
probably a troll because I would have been brought something up about it because I know street laws, man, and I know the system, how the court system is. When they was doing it in Chicago, they give him no slap on the wrist. A year here, 2 years there for a gun. And they hold on. The feds had to push in. Like, man, what y'all doing? They out here killing crazy. So the feds came in and everything, and they bumped it up. They started taking them charges, them cases and stuff with people, especially if you got a rap sheet on, a bad rap sheet and everything. You getting out 2 years and they start slapping you. No, we go to make this a habitual criminal. And what the habitual criminal is, they take it from the top. You done got 3 or 4 instead of what is it, Wyatt? 4 to 12, 2 to 10, however the system works.
It all depends.
They add that all, they add all that up. You've been locked up 3 or 4 times and stuff, going to the state on these cases, on these bogus gun charges. You can't leave the guns alone. So we gonna add all this up. So we gonna give you the max, 12 years and stuff. So that's how the feds moved in, Wyatt, and started taking over the cases like that. So if they look at it, probably in Cincinnati, probably look at it. Hold on, he got 3 or 4 cases as a gun. He can't leave the guns alone. They go make a habitual criminal act, put him under that act, and they go give him the max on it. That's how the system work like that.
Okay.
I crashed out a little bit on Lincoln Ware show and everything. Not like I wanted to, because like you said a little while ago, man, you talking about that Charlie Kirk, bless his soul and his family and everything else, and bless Rod for getting justice for his grandson, Lil Nilo.
Yeah,
and his
that was
daughter.
a sad situation.
Bless him too, man. And
So,
dude
hey,
that had no
Sean,
remorse coming out that courtroom,
So
White.
hold on one second. Hey, twin, let me ask you something. Was that you that said, and I don't know because I still haven't been able to research it yet, did that man actually admit to throwing the child in the river?
He admit to it. Wyatt. If you
admitted to it?
listen to his
Okay.
I don't know if it's a plea deal or they found him guilty on it. It sounded like it was a plea deal when he was standing up there.
Okay.
And
it
said,
came out of his mouth?
No, I guess it came out of what he wanted to say, and it came to the I guess his pretender or whatever, public pretender or whatever. It came from her, and she was stating it. Man, it was so sad when I heard that the blood. He stabbed 11 times. The blood came down to the next door neighbor house.
Yeah, it's not an admission of guilt if your public defender says it. It has to come out of your mouth. It has to be a statement made by yourself or a signed affidavit. You can't have your public defender say it in open court and that.
Even his prosecutor or something like that. Whoever I know it stated.
Okay.
And everything that 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 he plead to that, and that he threw the baby alive over the river. So I guess got to be the prosecutor. The baby was still alive, little Milo. Just talk. But to me, man, I don't think he threw it in the river. He probably threw it in a dumpster, man. One of them rumpty dumpsters or something like that. I don't think he did. Because let me tell you this, Wyatt. Hey, they got cameras around that Purple Bridge. When they showed it.
You're right.
They got cameras from both angles, Wyatt.
Yeah.
Both angles, Wyatt. So you mean to tell me you can't zoom in on this and whatever this? Come on, man. Y'all playing, man. Y'all playing with the people. They got, come on, man. He threw that baby in the dumpster somewhere. I don't think he threw it over there. To be honest, I don't.
Well,
and then, what you say? What?
Well, what I was gonna say is, you have a point there about the videos, because they had video camera of him walking through the hallway with the daughter, with the girl in the garbage bags. You know what I'm saying? So you would think that there would be cameras on the bridge itself for criminal, for reasons of protection, criminal, stuff like that. And if they didn't see him out there on video doing something like that, there's a chance that he probably, didn't do that. He might be saying that so he would be pushing them, go in a different direction. Sometimes
because they got Coast Guards out there, man, on them boats all the time, and you got the river over there. They can zoom in. You got the Cincinnati Bengals, the Heritage Bank, all that, man. All that. Let me go down there and start a fire right there by the banks or somewhere. I bet you they zoom in. Oh, that nigga ass twin down there. Man, what are you on, man? And stuff, man, they go zoom in, come give me a Kroger at my crib, man.
Let me tell you.
What's up, man?
Let me tell you what I think is going to happen. Now, I don't really, I'm not promoting violence, okay? But one thing that I do know about situations like this, when you do something like this, I hate to say it, but he's probably gonna have some problems when he get where he's going, because not what he did to the young lady, because it's a few dudes in there that didn't beat up girls and sent them, unlived them, if that's the new way that they say stuff. But what he did to that child, that man is gonna have some problems.
I wish they go back the old way, man. When you touch a child, why? Yeah. And everything, rape a child, a kid, man, they used to brutalize. Soon as you say something bogus to the guard or something like that, the guard will send your goof ass off. Hey, man, we got him right here and all that. They'll send a care package to your ass. Handle that fuck. Yeah. I used to do that, man. Gonna have to go murder somebody and you want to get smart, and the inmates already know what you in there for, so you can't lie. I mean, and that's how they need to go back to that. I bet, because he gonna be in PC. He gonna be in PC because he gonna be scared. There's a family member that's up in here.
That can't save him. That might not save him, because you got to understand.
No, you got to go to child or go to infirmary or something like that. They gonna catch you. Regardless, you ain't safe in the prison. I don't care who you is. You ain't safe. They gonna catch you one way or another. Yeah. Ain't no safeguard on there. Yeah. Police go play it off strip or something. Yeah, here you go. Man, come on, it ain't safe in a joint. No. So, yeah, man, it's crazy how it went down, man. He just ain't had no remarks like, I'm sorry I did this. Or he just walked out, keep looking over his shoulder, probably thought somebody would go attack him or something like that. But, dude, man, he bogus, man. He just bogus. Nice looking girl and son and everything. I don't know what's the outcome of.
I'm going to say something about that real fast. About, from my understanding, the grandfather was very vocal in what was going on in this situation. Yeah. I think Nilo's I could be misspeaking here. I don't know. There was a situation in the courtroom one day where the man that did this, who's found guilty, got punched. Some guy came up from behind him and hit him. I think that was Nilo's real father. And do you remember that happening?
Yeah. I didn't know if it was that was his father or not. No, it probably was, but I remember he came from the side from.
Right, he was sitting in the courtroom, and I remember him charging to the front and attacking the dude that was on trial at that time, who has now been convicted. But I'm just the grandfather, from what I'm hearing, was very vocal in the community about what was going on with, with in the case and what was going on with the guy, I found it to be really sad, y'all, that the grandfather had to come out and say things like, can you please tell me where my grandson is? Like that right there got me to a point where I was like, bro, like, there, you have to be a monster to have done all of that in the first place. But it take a special kind of monster, excuse me, that could have family members pleading out to him about what happened to the grandkid. You see what I'm saying? Like that's when the shit was no longer like crime is crime, and we see things for what they really are. But some things are just way out of scope of reality, and you know what I'm saying? Like throwing a kid, like if he didn't throw the kid, I guess what I'm trying to say, Twin, is this: if he didn't throw the kid over the into the water, please tell the family where they can find, what you actually did.
But let me interfere
Because
with
if
you.
he put
Back
it in
in
a dumpster,
2010, right?
if he put it in a dumpster, if he put it in a dumpster, like you said, they can possibly go to a Rumpke field and dig up remains. It might be hard at this point, but they could have done it at one point and probably been able to find, you know what I'm saying? But I just, it was crazy to hear that. But go ahead.
Back in 2010, Wyatt, back in 2010 in Cincinnati, it was on the news in Cincinnati. Dude from Chicago, my guy, his brother-in-law, they said, what you do to your son? He wanted to go to the funeral. Joe Didi was the prosecutor. And he's like, no, he ain't going nowhere. And it was nationwide. And I used to take his stepkids down there to see him. They had the little, what you call it, visitation rights.
Okay.
Right there on 8th Street behind the White Castle. It's a building, I guess the old Duke building or some building. Back there you have visitation for, you dope kids, mom on dope or something like that. You lose your rights and you have visitation right there. So, Wyatt, down here, man, I took him there and then people was like, I said, what's up with fam? He said, man, F him and stuff. We was trying to tell him, man, what happened to your son? Did you do this and all that? He was in denial about it. I ain't do that and all this and all that. So his mom said, I know you did that. You need to just confess and say you did it and all that. And they, don't have no part with it. Don't send them no money no more and all that. So it was similar to something like what you was just talking about, man. Yeah. It was down here on Cincinnati back in 2010 or 11. Yeah. And I just seen her and I'm like, man, why would he do that? And they would point a finger, well, he did, but he got life. He would spared his life without the death penalty, but they gave him life without parole. Okay. I know that. It was down here in Cincinnati. Now the Charlie Kirk, like you said, we talking all about this.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just get a couple things off the board here from the chat. Darnell Hunter says the grandfather said he thought he put the baby in a dumpster. Okay, like what you just said, Twin. I want to read brother Hunter.
Yeah.
Linda Evans says 5 years later, I don't think they will find anything. Well, you can find remains, and you can find bones and things of that nature in those fields.
You can find all that.
You can find that if he was to tell the truth and say, hey, I put it in this dumpster, and they can do the calculations of where that dumpster was laid at what time. They keep up with all that stuff. Vernon Jordan says this. He says the dude was faking mental illness for over 4 years. That was an eternity of torture for the family. I'm happy that they finally got some partial closure yesterday. I agree with you.
Yeah, because Rod called Lincoln Ware show, and I said, man, I hope he don't go down there. But you don't know what's your reaction, Wyatt. You don't know what you're capable of doing.
Is Rob, is he the grandfather? Or
what'd you say, Wyatt?
Who is Rob? You say Rob?
Rod is the granddaddy of Nilo, and that's his daughter, I believe.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And he called Lincoln Ware all the time, man. When he was talking, man, I said, God just give him strength, because I thought he was going to really, crash out in that courtroom.
That was his strength. That was his strength. I think it was very powerful. To be honest with y'all might agree, may disagree. I thought it was very powerful that the grandfather could come on and talk to the community like that. I think there's a lot of conversations that could have been made off of that. That just weren't, a lot of it wasn't touched because we were focused in on his situation. But I think it was, if we could get anything positive out of it, I think we should have been able to hear how victims and the family victims how they feel and how they ingest all this stuff that's going on in our communities. You know, we should have took his situation and kind of, you know what I'm saying, had a little bit more sympathy of how it feels to be on that end of these conversations. You feel what I'm
because it
saying,
was
bro?
crazy. Around it was that year was crazy. I had so much death that year, and after that, losing my daughter there and listen to her and listen to his what happened, and I'm like, man, what? And it was so much. 2020 and 2021 was devastated for me, and I know for him and other people and all that, people you love and people that was lost, man, it was 2020 and 2021 was crazy, man.
Yeah, I lost my
And
mom
I
that
thought
year.
really, man, I really thought, Wyatt, that he was gonna crash out, like snap in that courtroom. The way he was talking and you know, the sound of his voice and everything. And I never met him, but you know, just to hear him like, man, don't do it, don't do it. And I prayed for the guy for strength and everything, because you know, losing your granddaughter, your daughter and your grandson, and look, man, when I'm a couple, 3-4 years old, maybe, and man, then you sit up here with your goofy, happy, wannabe face and like nothing happened, man. I would have set the deck off, man. If all the guys, man,
Well,
lucky it ain't back in the day, man.
Yeah.
He would have got it.
Yeah,
he would have got it.
Okay,
he would have got it if I was locked up. He would have got it.
Let me just say this, man. I don't condone violence. However,
you ain't got to condone nothing, but it is what it is. You took somebody's life. Watch this. You go get tortured, and we paying. Man, they should have a what they call the firing squad. Man, ain't no more wasting taxpayers' money. Send this goofy ass in that backyard on the state yard and let us fire that nigga off, man. None of that, man. Forget all that, cause what he doing? We babysitting them now. It's daycare now. No, send that fire squad in, man, and let these 38s or whatever choppers go off, man.
Well,
no, none of that. It's a waste, man. It's a waste. Forget that lethal injection and all that. No. I got some hot ones for you. That's how they should do it, man.
I hear you.
That's how that's how I feel.
I hear you.
I know you hear you, but you don't want twin. That's other people like, oh, that's real torture. Well, you ain't said it when he just tortured your grandbaby.
But wait a minute.
Or something. Go ahead, man.
I think what you stepped over into what I was trying to say. I was about to say I don't condone violence. But at the same time, I wasn't mad at the young man that went and stole dude, you know what I'm saying, in the courtroom.
No, I wasn't.
You can't tell me that. I'm going to tell you, I would have probably done much worse. I don't even think they would have allowed me in the court building, in the courthouse, if that would have been one of my kids.
I would have been a plug out his face. I'm going to get my leg back.
Well,
I would have been a plug out his face.
All I'm saying to you is, like I said, I don't condone violence. I just know that I was not mad because I remember the young man that went over and punched the dude and they took him to jail and everybody was like, man, don't lock him up. And I'm like, yes, hear me out before you jump the gun, twin. I said, yes, lock his ass up for about 6 hours. Put him in a cell by himself. You don't let somebody that just ran in front of the courtroom punch a dude and then just let him walk out of the justice center or walk out of the courtroom out to the streets. You don't want somebody out there that's in that. Let him sit in the cell for a couple hours and cool down. You see what I'm saying?
You talking about the dude that stole on?
Yes. And people took that out of context. They thought I was talking about he needed to be arrested for that. It wasn't that. It was I needed that.
Oh, you want him to calm down for 6 hours?
Yes, the judge held him for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long, but it was appropriate to save him from himself. That's what happened
Safety
to the kid.
Protocol.
Yes, that's kind of you never know what people will go off and do. Should I say more? The young man who got shot by the police running out of the car. And what did his dad go do after watching the video? He ran over a police.
That was bogus right there. I would have never showed him that, White.
Well,
that's a trigger finger. That's a trigger finger, man.
If you're going to do things like that, you have to be prepared for people's reactions of what could happen after they see what they see. Just like the young man sitting in the courtroom when he went over and punched this dude. You have to take him in custody and give him some cool down time. Give him a counselor to talk to. Give him some family around him or something to cool him down. All right, because you can't just have that violence happen in your courtroom and then just release him out to the street. He could possibly go after one of this guy's family member That guy got loved ones too. Even though, we looking at him as a piece of what, but he had family members that's in that courtroom that's on, for him. They're probably embarrassed. They probably, in a space. But what if his family was out in the courtroom and this young man, now he didn't risk his life taking one of their lives for some payback? You gotta take all that in consideration as the judge.
And that was a good thing that judge did. And I wish him to Rodney would have, when they should never did it, man. Whoever showed him that video, because it's mixed emotions, man. There, you don't know what's the reaction. Okay, they did this, they did what, and you let them know. Then oh, you cool? Yeah, I'm cool. He'll play it off. He cool, but he not cool. He just seen a video of his son getting murdered. You know what? F all y'all. I'm crashing out. Bam, first police I see, I'm running a nigga asshole. And that's what he did. You don't do that, man. It's mixed emotion there. People always say, oh, man, I would have never did that. You don't know what you would do, nigga. That's all you got. Y'all always yapping and all that. You don't know what type of mixed emotion you fit in and everything. You don't know. It's an XC downfall or up or downer. Either I'm going to crash out or I'm going to stay calm with it. But you never know people always say, man, I would have never, man, you don't know, man. It's been plenty of times I want to crash out them damn docs. And I did before. I told them, fuck all y'all. And everything. They threw me out the hospital because they was lying and everything. But I had to calm down. Lord, give me strength. Give me strength, Lord, because I know what the fuck I'm doing here. Give me strength. And I walked away, man. My baby like, calm down, twin. No, man, fuck that. Tears and all, man. I don't give a fuck about no Krogers of my family right now. I'm ready to take you motherfuckers out. Each and every one of y'all, I told all y'all, fuck y'all and everything. Twin. And at the end of the day, when I switched it all around, I had to come back to Twin like, man, I know this and I know what you're going through and all that. I had to realize, man, calm this shit down, man. Twin, calm this down.
Twin, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, player. Go ahead, player.
You're getting up to 10. You're almost there. But I want to ask you.
I'll stop at 8.
No, it's cool. I just want to ask you a question, man, if I may. I don't want I don't need a long answer because it's a sensitive question, bro. But I just got to ask you.
Man, you could, this your podcast and I respect you.
Sometimes it is, go ahead, sometimes it isn't. But I'm just going to ask you. Was your daughter's death, was it a natural cause? Was it of a disease like a cancer or something of that nature?
To be honest, Wyatt, I donated my baby body to science because you had people from Indonesia and all the other places fly in. They don't even know. How she died. Okay. But when they went in there the second time, Wyatt, to do a heart pursuit,
no, I don't think anybody ever knew. Okay, everybody know you.
I didn't even know. I know when he came there to fix the tube and all, he thought he can, do shortcuts and it didn't work.
Here's the thing, bro.
Go ahead, Wyatt.
Here's the thing. I think the reason why it was important to know is because we need to know why you would crash out. Because if your daughter was a victim of a crime, I get just like Nilo, I'm with you. You can.
Hey, Wyatt, my daughter was smiling, man. She was smiling on a Sunday.
And see, that's because it was.
And Tuesday, I get this. Hold on, man. She got pumps and everything, valves running down her and swollen up like a watermelon. And hold on, what the fuck did y'all do? And then, man, I hate to tell this and everything, but I had to take a gangster real bad, Wyatt. Some told me God woke me up at 5:31. I can remember. And I had to take a gangster real bad. And when I sat down and it went away, God said, I gotta have her. And I cried and I woke my baby up. I said, baby, wake up. I said, I hate to say it, and I don't know how you go take this, but God got it. He go take her. What you mean? Don't worry about it. I'm strong. I said, I need you to be strong. I said, I know you go cuckoo or whatever. I said, just believe. Believe in God, man. He got her. I said, God needs her. Well, don't worry about it.
I got you.
When I got there at 9 o'clock, at 9 something, the doctor, I said, get my baby.
Okay.
30 seconds, do, went down and she died in my arm. Okay. And I could have but God, I was so strong. Why when she died in my arms, peaceful, I could have crashed out, man. Did something stupid. But I cried a little bit and I said, God, I thank you for the year almost that you gave me. I can't complain. I used to question God. Why this? Why that? But I look at it, why everything has a reason and a purpose for, man. You can't question God about life. You can't question God about any situation. It's a reason and time for everything. That's Bible, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and 4. That's Bible. And I used to question, man, my mama is the earthly, godly, fearing person ever. And you took my mama, but what about them damn people, her sister who all here crashing devil ass? And God said, this is why. And I had to think about it.
All right.
Ain't no, man, it's time. I'm sorry for venting
No,
this,
I
but
got you,
you
bro.
know, we go
just,
back and forth this Charlie Kirkland and everything of races and all that crazy, but you got to look on the inside, man, of your own people, of your own city. Trump ain't do this to this killing and stuff. Trump ain't do this to other community. Look at the crash out that happened yesterday, Wyatt. Beat that boy naked. And there wasn't no white folks. Where his Hollywood check at? Beat that boy, man. 10 people on that little boy, man.
I seen that.
Come on, man. And ain't no damn crash out on that. But you talking about a 4.5, 5.4, whatever on the bill, man. Y'all some sick-minded people. And y'all want to get mad at Twin when I say something? Nigga, kick rocks, man. Okay. Kick rocks, man. Face reality, man. Y'all all a joke out here. But y'all want to get mad at me when I say something? Yeah, okay. Go find God or whoever you abide by, whatever. Now leave me alone, man. You're trolling for nothing. Y'all better face reality and know your city and everything. Y'all put y'all people in place and they can't do a damn thing. None of them leaders, man, they ain't got none say so. Now one of them ain't spoke about the murder yesterday or what that dude got jumped naked and stuff. But y'all want to stream about Holly and stuff. Your own kind did it. There wasn't no white folks there. Wasn't no Trump there. Come on, man. Come on, man. Wake the hell up, man. But y'all want to gang bang against me. Yeah, okay. Okay, I stand on 10 toes, son. It's bogus how y'all do this, man. It's bogus. Man, go ahead, Wyatt.
All right, brother. Hey, thanks for engaging with us,
I'm
man.
sorry, man, if I vent like that, but man, I got a heart, man, for my people.
Sure
but you got to pick these spades right, man. Quit reneging on the folks, man. You got to deal them out. Quit reneging on the folks like this, man.
Hey, I try to give
I'm telling you, quit reneging, man. And then people want to say, oh, this nigga albino, this Trump support. No, I ain't about that. Game recognize game. Real recognize real. When he break it down to you third degree and stuff, what y'all go do? Oh, he don't know what he talking about, man. You better start throwing shades and clowning people and goddamn it, wake up, man. Wake up.
It's not the way
and face reality. When he hit you with that, oh, I told you so and all that. Oh, he don't know what he talking about. And then you got the receipts to show it. You ain't getting no damn refund. Hell no, when I tried to tell your goof ass, go somewhere else or put your layaway somewhere else, man. Because I told your ass, you passed 30 days. What they give you, 30, 45 days layaway and everything? You passed that.
I haven't done layaway in a minute. I don't remember.
Me either, fam. I used to do Black Friday 20 years ago.
All right, hey, I gotta go, twin. I appreciate
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man, if I went over. But game recognize real, man.
All right,
come
twin.
on, man.
Thanks for engaging with us, bro. All right, bro. I ain't trying to be funny, man, but do they still have layaway? Is that still a thing? Because I only remember layaway from Gold Circle and Wall. What was the one called? Kmart. Unless you shopped at I don't know, Ben's or somebody downtown, and they might let your mama, mama might drop them $20 or something and get on payments or something of that nature. But I haven't seen. Can somebody put it in the screen? I'm curious, and I don't mean to be on some belittle. I just didn't think layaway was still a thing. Maybe Walmart might have layaway. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Walmart still have. I don't think. Hey, to be honest with you, my mama tricked me so bad. At a layup, she used to do me. My mother was the worst at it. I remember being in Gold Circle a few times. Mama, I wish you were still alive to hear this because you fleeced me a few times. She allowed me to put some things in the cart, and what she was doing was basically taking my Christmas list as a little boy, and I was putting everything in the cart, and she put it in layaway. I thought we was checking out, but she took it back in the back. Y'all know the layaway department. And she put it in layaway, and she said, I'm coming back to get it later. I didn't understand what layaway or any of that stuff was, but she said they just keep it here, they store it here, and then when we ready to get it, we'll come back and get it. Especially like Christmas or something, Christmas holiday. So my mom let me put everything in the cart, and that Christmas, it didn't turn out like the cart. It wasn't quite everything in there. Like I didn't get everything. I can vaguely remember some of the stuff, but not Walmart, but layaway was one of them programs you could have like $200 worth of shit in the cart and give them $5 and lay it away. And I think you had so much time to pay off the balance, they would hold it in the back. And you had so much time to pay off the balance, and then you can take it out of the store once the balance is zero. That's the way I understood it. But Carolyn Smith says layaway, that's what you got from that call, layaway? Kinda. Because I've heard it all before. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful, Carolyn. I've heard. The only thing that I didn't hear out of that conversation is I did ask the question because I never knew the answer of how Twin lost his daughter. I think that's important for all of us to know. If we're going to hear it, if we're going to listen, I have to affiliate his crash outs and why he would be so angry at the passing of his daughter. It's important for me to know, how did it happen? Was it did someone do something violent to his family and cause this? Or was this a calling from God? Sounds to me, I don't want to be disrespectful on anybody's babies and stuff like that, but it sounds to me like it may have been a calling from God. However, Twin was like, "What y'all do?" When he came back, the tubes was all in the child. So, he might have in his mind, or the family may be thinking that the hospital may have been, involved. I don't know. I'm not suggesting. I'm just, from what I'm hearing, he's like, "What y'all do?" So he may be ready to crash out on a situation that may not even be the right situation. You feel what I'm saying to you? So I don't want to get into that. I just wanted to know, like, why were you? I understand being angry if my baby is taken away from me. I can even understand questioning God. I get all of that. But are you crashing out because you felt that the hospital did something, or are you crashing out just because of the loss itself? You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to go back to Nilo's grandfather. I thought it was pretty big of him to talk to the community. I know I said that already, right? But I thought it was pretty big of him. And he was really getting this stuff off his chest and talking about the situation. But you got to understand, I've been in that position before myself by listening, not just to Twin, but listening to people who have their family's been victimized and there's nobody to talk to. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they think that they giving you somebody because they'll give you a counselor. I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. A lot of people don't like talking to counselors. People want to talk to people. They want to talk to regular people. I had a situation in my life, my family, my wife and I, we had a situation in our life where something happened, and we got through it. But then there was a thing at the end where you want to talk to a counselor, and I was kind of forced to, from husband and wife type thing, just do it just to feel better. So I had a conversation with a counselor, and I was like, eh. But when I got to the office, now I was not employed. I was not self-employed at this time. I was working in the industry. And when I got to the office, who made me feel the best were coworkers that I never really rocked with. Didn't pay them. I ain't even rock with them. They wasn't my cool. I wasn't cool with them or nothing. But they would come in my office one at a time. They knew what had happened, and when they came in, I felt more comfortable talking to them because they shared their story with me that was relatable to my situation. Jericho, I didn't mean that in vain. I didn't mean that to be disrespectful. I meant it because when people are struggling with some things, sometimes they want to talk to somebody regular that may have been faced with the same situation, because sometimes you have to feel like you're not on this planet alone. Because some of these places that we find ourselves, it's such a dark place. You feel what I'm saying? And you think that you're the only one in the world going through it. And some people need to hear that somebody else went through it. And sometimes it's just not a counselor who who can get that across to them. It all depends on your makeup. It all depends on how you deal with issues and how you deal with problems. Some people can listen to a counselor and continuously go, and they feel so dependent on that counselor that they even go past expiration date. They feel like it's needed. They want it all the time because that's how they get through stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think counselors show true value. But for some people, such as myself at once upon a time in my life, I didn't want a counselor. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't even want the people that came and knocked on my door and came in my office. I didn't want that shit. I went to work because I had to go back to work. But when they sat down and came in and was telling me stories, you know what I'm saying? About how me and my wife did, we went through the same thing. You'll be fine. And now it's all like human. Like I'm not by myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not by myself. That happened to you too, bro? People I didn't even rock with. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know these folks, man. Like, matter of fact, a couple of them, we had a few little bad run-ins with each other. And all that went out the window, and they came in and talked to me one by one. Some did, some didn't. The ones that had something in common. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? It went a long way. It went a long way. So that's when I had a clear understanding. So when someone like Tracy Dillingham, when her mom passed, her mother passed like a year right before mine. It didn't mean the same thing when I called her, texted her and said, hey, sis, I'm here for you. If anything, just let me know I'm here, blah, blah, blah. She appreciated it, but it didn't mean we had a conversation. She called me when my mom passed a year after hers. Now we got a whole different conversation. We can relate to one another. And I told her, I said, sis, I'm sorry. When I called you, my mom, I didn't have this situation and I didn't even know what to say. But now that I'm in the same situation that you were in a year ago, I know exactly what to say to you and what not to say. And I know how you feel. So we had a different conversation because it was a, you know what I'm saying? We were in the same space. I felt comfortable saying everything that I said. Before my mother passed, when I talked to Tracy, I didn't feel comfortable saying anything. What do I say? I don't know how that feels. That's just how it is. Now, a trained counselor, they know what to say. But the person that they talking to has to be ready to hear it. That's where I'm at with it. All right, man. So that's pretty much my day. I was supposed to be off of here at 3:30. I have a 4 o'clock I have to get to today. That's pretty much. I didn't think I was going to make it this far today because I got sidetracked at the beginning. I really didn't have anything. I don't want to talk about the Charlie Kirk situation because a lot of people, to be honest with you, a lot of people didn't even listen to Charlie Kirk. A lot of people that are on this platform, they know him. They may not have been a regular listener. I've heard him say several different things. A lot of the things that he said had a lot to do with conservative way of thinking, but it's, you can't misconstrue conservatism with a lot of the things that y'all want to affiliate racism because it can go both ways. I mean, you can, if you want to take conservative thoughts personal, you can do that with a Charlie Kirk because you got to keep in mind that man would debate. Right, Jericho. Oh, right. You have to. The man was open to debate anyone. So you have to understand when your door is open for debate, the things that you say in a debate based on data, based on information, it may not be the nicest thing. You may not like what's being said, but when you're dealing with someone like Charlie Kirk, he dealt with numbers. You feel what I'm saying? The data said what it said. Let me play this. Let me play this one. Let me play this one video right here. That let me see if it's still in here. I have conservative ways. Okay, here it is. I do have it. I just wanted to make sure I have it. But I think some of the things that I talk about go down the lines of what this brother talk about. All right. We shouldn't even care what the Charlie Kirks are saying of the world. We need to just handle what we doing. That's how I've always been, and that's what I push on the platform. All right, I think we need to pay more attention to what we got going on our plate, not what those guys are talking about, not how their belief systems are, none of that. I don't need anybody explaining to me outside of my people what our problem is, because that's how you get labeled as a racist or a fascist or all that stuff. Fuck all that. I rather us do our internal homework, our internal fixes. And if that means you're gonna call me names and call me all that old shit that y'all, some have done, that's so be it. That's why they don't watch, and I'm okay with that. If they don't watch, I'd rather you not watch than to come in and just be an agent of chaos and tell me that I'm wrong for feeling the way I feel. But if you listen to people who do actual data and work off numbers, sometimes those numbers are the keys to our solutions. They're keys to solving a lot of our problems, even though some people have you believing that it's not the key. It's not really the key. They just saying that shit. And we haven't even tried fixing any other things that show that the numbers would be better off if we went a different kind of way. Some of y'all seen this video in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. It was sent to me. And I want to know, maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow, but it was sent to me, and I agree with a lot of it. Check it out.
1% of our sisters are not married, 29% will never get married, 63% of our brothers are not married, 30% of them will never get married. There is no culture in the history of humankind that has risen to maximize their full human potential without family at the center of their culture. This only exists. This is an interesting but negative statistic. This phenomenon of the existential crisis of our family only exists among African American black people. It does not exist on the continent or anywhere else in the diaspora. So there must be something in the water. We must fix this. It is a lot easier said than done because it is impacting our wealth. Quick statistics. For 350 years, household median income was dominated by white people. They were number one in this country. They no longer are number one, they're number three, and there's a reason for it. So, who has the highest household median wealth in America? It's East Indians. $104,000 a year. What's the marriage rate in the East Indian culture? 94%. Two are working. Who's number two? Chinese Asians. Household median income $110,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. Number three are white people. Household median income $88,000 a year. What's the marriage rate? Almost 50%. Down significantly. Number four are Hispanics. Household median income $61,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. We are at the bottom. Household median income $55,000 a year. Marriage rate 34%. And projected based on facts and statistics that if we do not fix this, because white folks ain't fixing this, our marriage rate will be in the low teens in the next 20 years. This is an enormous challenge. That's a whole talk by itself on how do we fix it. It can be fixed, but we have to, first of all, understand that this is a problem. No one's talking about this problem. This is a huge problem. It's the number one problem in our culture. So we must fix it.
Wow.
It's definitely fixable. But in order to fix something like this, you have to have those conversations. You have to have these type of conversations. Our conversations can't be about the things that are not productive to fixing the real problem. Because a lot of people got us focused on the areas of why things are the way they are versus how we can fix the things that are the way they are. See what I'm saying? We can go back and talk about the government took the man out of the house and all that old shit. That don't stop us from loving each other in 2025. It don't stop you from having a baby with a woman that you love and raising a family. It don't stop. That has nothing to do with who we are today. I can tell you right now, man, a lot of my buddies, myself included, we're nothing like our fathers. Nothing like our fathers. So if we're nothing like our fathers and that means we're making different decisions, right? If we're making different decisions, that means how our father was raised and the things that they doing have nothing to do with how we do what we do today, right? It just has nothing to do with it. So at one point, we got to stop saying that this is the reason why that is and this is the reason and that. When we free thinking people, we do what we want to do. We make the decisions that we want to make because nobody's stopping us. Nobody's making us have multiple children with multiple women and taking care of maybe one of the children and have fallen out with the baby. This ain't, hey fellas, this is not on us. Not all of it. Y'all know that it takes a woman to say yes. It takes a woman to be, it take a woman to say yes. But we got to stop playing games with these women that's willing to say yes to us, bro. We got to stop playing fucking games. Bro, do me a favor. You might not like what I'm going to say here. And it's never too late. But it's becoming too late if we never had these conversations. Not real conversations. We got to have real conversations. These are the type of conversations that charlatans can't handle. They can't make money off these conversations, and they can't make somebody responsible for your lack of taking accountability or the lack of us making proper decisions. They can't make money off of that. But bros, I'm just going to say something to you. It's very important that we raise our princes and our prince to be kings. We got to get our family. That nucleus is the key to success. It's been proven. The blueprint is when things were the toughest for Black folks in this country is when Black families were more solid. You understand? When it was the toughest time in the world for us in the United States of America, Black families were solid. We were at 70%. We were outgrowing white families and any other race of people in this country. We were doing it from the unity of love. I'm out. Peace and love to everybody, man. Let's talk about this video maybe tomorrow at 1 o'clock, man. Peace and love to everybody, man. Family is the key. Peace and love. I'll holler.
Boy. Hey, shooting my shot like, hey, hit the red dot like, hey, finger on the trigger like, hey, shooting my shot like, hey, hit the red dot like, hey, hitting her spot like, hey, I gotta get it, man, shout out, I hit it, I'm fully committed like, hey, I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it, I call that precision like, hey, shooting my shot like, hey, hit the red dot like, hey, finger on the trigger like, hey. Grandma was in there, auntie was in there, mama had AAA, I wasn't scared to crash anyone anyway. I ride a shotty while bro had a shotty, like we in the getaway. I gotta penetrate, I gotta generate, I got like 20 some years to my hood, now I gotta go live away. I'm out of town, but I'm not on the getaway, I spin a giveaway. Fuck you mean, I'm the generous king for real. I fuck her to sleep, then I light up the street, got her screaming like Billie Jean for real. I'm from the M, I got M's in the bank and M's in all my streams for real. Feeling like Phil, they be living like Carlton if I leave him in the wheel. Shooting my shot like ayy, hit the red dot like ayy, finger on the trigger like ayy, 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 ayy. Shooting my shot like ayy, hit the red dot like ayy, hitting her spot like ayy, 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 ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I hit it. I'm fully committed like ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like ayy. Shooting my shot like ayy, hit the red dot like ayy, finger on the trigger like ayy, 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 ayy. Baby, I'm loving the taste. I think I'm ready for kids. She said when it stop trying to come in her face. That makes sense. I'm going up past LA Brent. I'm going off no fail, say switch. Yeah, me and my team go back like plastic cup boys on some tailgate shit. Okay, hold, look. All eyes on me, ho. I feel like I'm Truman. Oh, we finna win it, cause I'm about to lose it. I don't give a fuck what computers disputing. I go off a field, no heads, just shoot it. I die for my team, I'm the coach, I'm recruiting. I'm spending my time and I'm saving the day, ho. I feel like a mutant. I'm built like a student. I'm feeling bilingual, cause I'm in Nigeria. Rocking the Cuban, smoking on Cubans. My life is a highlight reel that I keep on looping. You can't just tell me shit, ho. You gotta prove it. These niggas stealing, they first name is Lupin. I'm hitting harder than bitch, I uke. And they sending shots, but somehow I just juke it. Hitting my dance, motherfucker, I'm B.I.G. You know I can't forget that I do it. Shooting my shot like ayy, hit the red dot like ayy, finger on the trigger like ayy, 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 ayy. Shooting my shot like ayy, hit the red dot like ayy, hitting her spot like ayy, 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 ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I hit it. I'm fully committed like ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like ayy. Shooting my shot like ayy, hit the red dot like ayy, finger on the trigger like